Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Outs here. It's Monday morning, and we lost the Rockets in a pathetic way. That game annoyed me yesterday. That game made me think of the games earlier this season where the Raptors teased us, made us feel like we might win a game, and then coughed it up right at the end. That was like one of those games. That was like a game from earlier this season. It's so annoying. That game was so winnable. It really was right there for us to just take and add to the win column, but decisions were made, and those decisions were for development, not for winning. We could have won the game last night or yesterday. We could have won it, but we chose not to. I feel like we straight up chose not to win this game yesterday because there's very specific decisions that he could have stuck to or done in the fourth quarter, and we would have won. We played excellent for 3 quarters, as Darko said, but in the fourth, no. All of a sudden, Houston started making their shots, and we never made our shots the whole entire game. 6 of our 10 players that played in the game yesterday did not hit a three-pointer, and they were collectively 0 for 24. And the people that were on that list that didn't make a single three-pointer were people like Scotty Barnes, Grady Dick, Jamison Battle, Oshai Abaji. Yeah, very important three-point shooters for our team. None of them made a single damn three. Chris Boucher, another one. Yeah, it's crazy. That game yesterday, well, we're gonna go over it. You can see I'm wearing purple today. I want to say that was a fail. That game was absolutely a fail. We should have closed that game out and won. And I'm kind of pissed that we lost yesterday. Seriously. I'm kind of pissed. I did not like seeing Jalen Green wake up in the fourth quarter and start hitting shots. Him and Cam Whitmore hitting key threes late to separate the Rockets above us, and they weren't even that far ahead of us. We could really have buckled down in the fourth quarter. We had lots of time to do it. There was 8 minutes to go in the game, and they were ahead of us. And if we had really made the decisions to win the game, we would have won. And some of it was playing 4 rookies and Oshai Abaji in the fourth quarter during key stretch when we should have been trying to come back on them. I mean, those rookies are rookies. And, that's not a team that's capable to kind of go at them and overcome them in the score. It's like you're almost like you're just conceding. It's like folding your hand in poker. It's like, you know what? I got this handful of 4 rookies and Oshai Abaji. And you guys go ahead and take over and win the game by the end of the game. That's what happened yesterday. It's annoying. The Rockets feel good again. They lost 6 in a row. They should have lost 7 in a row, honestly. I don't think the Rockets deserved to win the game yesterday, honestly. I felt like the Raptors did a really good job with energy and organization. Right from the start of the game, Scotty and Jonathan sealed the court around the rim and were very, very good defensively, which shocked me. They were very much stymieing and stopping Alperen Sengun while he was still in the game. Then he got hurt and he had to leave. He didn't score a single damn point, and they were absolutely effective against that young all-star who came out trying to attack us, and Scotty and Jonathan weren't having it. And they really did kind of hold him off while he was available to play. Of course, Grady got hurt too and had to leave the game. That hurt our team. At a certain point, we got to a place where the only person left on our bench is Garrett Temple. Everybody's either hurt or already played and a rookie. Yeah, we just really, really went heavy on the young minutes. And our roster makeup is conducive for doing this because Kelly and Bruce are gone. Davion's gone. There's a lot of minutes that were held up by Brown, Olynyk, and Mitchell that are getting redistributed at this time and finding their place on Mobo, Battle, Shed, stuff like that. It's not that I hate that. I'm not against that. But it's tough for me when we've got 7 minutes to go and we're only down by 7 and we have the talent and the ability to take over and win. And I see IQ sitting on the bench for the last 5 minutes a game because of minutes restrictions and conditioning ramp up. I see Chris Boucher sitting on the bench in the last 5 minutes a game when I know that this is a long-standing Raptor that has so much experience and understands what to do out there to help us try and close the gap and win. That's the sign right there. When you see a team that is so freaking young close out the game for the last 5 minutes, and not even Scotty's out there for part of that time in the fourth too. No IQ, no Scotty out there. Well, no dice. And in fact, at the beginning of the game, where the first time where the Rockets took the lead or ate up, we had a good lead. We were kicking their ass. And then Scotty and Emmanuel went to the bench in the second quarter. And that's when they came back and evened it up with us. But then they didn't even go past us. It's not like they started kicking our ass. It was very even and back and forth. In fact, with us kind of being on top still. But that was the first time in the game where we kind of waved the white flag that we might fold for the game, is that we just didn't have a lineup out there with any barbecue in it. It was just basically like I said, it was Abaji with 4 rookies. You got Shed, Mobo, Battle, Walter, and Abaji out there. That's a lineup that just doesn't know what it's doing completely. Those guys are still rookies. And if your veteran on the court is a third-year player or a second-year player like Grady, that's just not enough experience. I'm sorry. That game yesterday devolved at times and was not a totally professional NBA game. I'm going to say that right now. That game was very piss poorly played. There was not professionalism in that game in a lot of ways. The Rockets are a young core also, and without Fred VanVleet out there babysitting them, they can degenerate into the old Rockets from 2 years ago that have no discipline and are just wild and not very professional. And that happened to a degree. It was almost like it was a nostalgia trip for the Rockets. Oh, let's go revisit how we were 2 years ago. Yeah, I mean, that's how it looked to me. I don't know. This is a tough one. In some ways, I'm pissed about this game. I'm pissed about a couple things today. Let's get into the chat. Let's see what you guys are saying. I'll do my stars of the game. We'll do all the other stuff we normally do on the channel. Bryce is here first, out of Kentucky. Bryce stateside in Kentucky. What's he saying this morning? Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. I hope all is well. As a Drake and Chiefs fan, I can say I was in shambles last night. Watching Kendrick and the crowd hate on Drake and Pat get destroyed was not on my to-do list. Well, that sounds like you were the guy in Clockwork Orange with the things with your eyes wide open and you're watching atrocities. Yeah, that sucks, man. I'm sorry about that. I didn't watch anything about the Super Bowl. I did see that the Eagles pretty much ran all over them and won the game. I'm kind of happy about that because I'm not a Chiefs fan. And in some ways, if I'm going to look at the bright side of things, I'm going to say, well, they didn't get their three-peat, and I'm happy about that. In fact, that was what's been said is the big motivator for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles is the cockiness of the Chiefs, just saying that they're going to get a three-peat no matter what. Well, they want to make sure you did it, and they did. The other stuff with Kendrick, I'm hearing the reviews on Kendrick's halftime show, and a lot of people say it's the worst halftime show that's ever happened on Super Bowl, but some of it's because of racism. Some of it's because old people don't understand the young people's music. Some of it is that, maybe he is tacky right now with his stupid ass, not like us bullshit. I don't know. Either way, I don't care about Drake. I'm not trying to project Drake. Drake deserves everything he gets from that kind of shit right now. I am trying to protect our country, though. I will say that. And some bullshit happening during the Super Bowl. We should be on alert. We should be vigilant. We should be ready to stand on guard for thee. And I will also say we need to vote against all progressive conservatives in all elections for the near future because they're the ones who will open the door for an orange man south of us to get entry into our country. You don't get it twisted. Doug Ford will not fight against Trump. He will help him in the back doors behind our backs. So we need to vote, y'all. There's a provincial election here in this province in like 17 days, and they ain't talking about it enough. Everybody needs to know that they can vote on February the 27th in Ontario, and we need to vote for a new premier, and we need to get the PC out of power because they're going to help nefarious, ugly shit from south of us get a stranglehold on our country. We don't. So I would say this to any proud Canadian who loves being Canadian. We need to be very vigilant and politically active right now. And we need to reject conservative governments, which will align with the government down south. And if you don't believe me, you didn't listen to me last year about what I was saying about Trump in the election. You need to fucking listen to me now because the United States fucked up this election and it may fuck up the whole entire world now. So y'all seriously get politically active. If you've never, ever been politically active in your life, now is the time. If you don't do it now, you may never get a chance again. I'm going to say that right now. All right, I got that rant a little bit out of the way today. I don't want to go deep on this because I can get very emotional about the subject, and I don't feel like doing that today. Bryce is saying being happy doesn't mean everything is perfect, but you have decided to look beyond the imperfections. Yeah, I'm like this right now. I mean, I don't care who won the Super Bowl yesterday. I'm going to game it the best side of whatever it is. Hopefully, there's a jubilant feeling and the energy in Philadelphia as the Raptors are there today to get ready for their game tomorrow against the Sixers, and that they can feel that good, positive feeling of celebration from the Super Bowl victory for the Eagles. And, in some ways, I'm very happy the Eagles won. I said it before. I was rooting for the Eagles originally because of Kyle Lowry. And if Kyle Lowry's happy because the Eagles won, then I'm happy too. They did a poll of the Raptors and who they were rooting for. It was kind of funny to see how it all fell down. It seemed like what Kayla was saying was that Jacoby is the only one who was actually rooting for the Eagles in the Raptors locker room, but that's not totally true. They did a little thing on Raptors admin with the texts where they were texting the Raptors, who do you think will win? Who you want to win? Grady wanted the Chiefs, and quite a few of them did want the Chiefs, but there were a few guys that were very happy about the Eagles winning yesterday. We'll talk about that in the Instagram stories a little bit. Yeah, we will. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Bryce with some words of wisdom this morning. That's right, guys. You put your focus where you get your attention and control or whatever. Put your focus. If you put your focus on the bad stuff and the things like that, that's what you'll get more of. So you need to focus on the good and try and strive for more good and cultivating in your life. I know it's tough, and there's certain negativity and really crazy things happening right now. It's really easy to get bogged down in sadness and anger, but we've got to stay positive, upbeat, and understand what we can control and exercise our right to control that while we still can, y'all. I'm serious. This is some crazy ass bullshit. In some ways, I've said the correlations between Musk and Hitler and the Nazis and MAGA are all real. The correlation between Trump and Putin is very real. This is a egotist, narcissist who is who's in charge of a country and his expansion ideas, like the Russians and their bullshit in Ukraine. So we need to be very, very serious about this for our country here. Seriously, guys, this is not a fucking, this motherfucker will say exactly what he wants to do and warn us because he wants to normalize it. That was part of the whole charade of Project 2025. They said that it wasn't a real thing, and now it is. They're implementing it. They lied. So fucking don't believe jack shit that he says, but also listen to him and understand he's telling us what he's trying to do so we can stop his ass. So this is really, really important. We need the help of the American people from within to go against them. But you can see from Russia how difficult that is. The people of Russia do not like Putin and what he is doing, but he is being a dictator. And that's the fucking model that's going down and destroying the American democracy right now. And that's really fucking sad and pathetic. It's really, really awful. Americans can get all high mighty about this and that. Well, save your fucking country right now. Seriously. Because you're going to be just like Russia over on this continent soon. You fucking got to do something. Don't fucking wait for it. Just watch and see how it happens. Y'all need to be activated. And we do too up here. We do too. All right. I'm going to try not to do this, but it is on my head right now. I'm sorry. All right. Trevor's saying a bird sitting on a tree is never afraid of the branch breaking because their trust is not in the branch, but in their own wings. Always believe in yourself. Yeah. I love this statement right now. It's like, it's true. Believe in yourself and your ability, and you can get a lot of amazing things accomplished, even when you didn't think you could. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going, is what Billy Ocean used to say. And that's what I'm going to say right now. Fuck around and find out is what I'll say. And in some ways also, I just want us to be smart and believe in yourself. And let's get a better future coming towards us than what is scarily threatening us right now. Some bullshit, man. Seriously. Trevor's saying, what an ugly game between the Raptors and the Rockets. And Robinson finally hit a three-pointer. Nobody else did. Nobody else hit a three, hardly. But Orlando Robinson finally hit a three. Oh, man, it was ugly, Trevor. It was very, very ugly. In fact, I'll say this about that game. When you have two teams that have a lot of youth, like the Rockets and the Raptors did yesterday, and they're playing heavy minutes, the game can degenerate to being halfway between G League level and NBA level. And that's really what happened with our game yesterday. Both teams shot so bad in the first half Their shooting percentages were awful. The points totals for the games were awful. Darko said after the game, the Raptors couldn't shoot yesterday. That we just couldn't shoot. And they finally woke up and started making their shots in the fourth. And that was the difference. That's what Darko's saying. The difference was at the 3-point line and also on second chance shots. There was some second chance shots that the Rockets got that he was really mad about them getting that. But, it is what it is. They interviewed Emmanuel after the game, and Emmanuel wasn't upset about not playing at the end of the game. It's all part of the plan. He was in on it. He knew, that he's on a minutes restriction and that he's being ramped up in conditioning because of his groin injury, and it's a touchy subject. It's something that, he's got to really be careful with and baby. It may seem like weird decisions with Emmanuel Quickly right now. Like, why didn't he play in the last 5 minutes of the game last night? I totally agree with you guys, but in some ways that was planned. And we've seen a pattern of him not playing at the end of the games lately since he came back from injury. So I don't know. There's a lot of questions about things, but Emmanuel said it's like, look, this injury is different. I haven't been injured most of my career, and I've been injured lately, and I'm not used to it. And in some ways, I really have to go through the ups and downs of getting through this injury right now. And then also my goals for the rest of the season are to just get better every day and the team get better every day. And I see a lot of growth in this team and what this team is doing right now, and I'm very proud of it. And also, I'm going to do my best to get better myself every day, just like the rest of the guys are doing. So that's the page Emmanuel's on right now in his post-game interview last night. That's what he was saying. Ugly game, for sure. Very, very ugly game. Not totally professional. Not totally professional NBA game yesterday. Trevor J saying Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl, and the first quarterback, his entire management team is all women. Yeah, that's cool. I think that's cool. I think he said that it organically just happened that way. It wasn't like he set out to just do that, but it just happened. The band U2, for the longest time, their management group was all women. During pretty much from the 80s of Joshua Tree all the way up until today, they've had pretty much a full office of representation of females that work in their organization. Yeah, so that's some people just do this. Yeah, congratulations to Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles on your Super Bowl win yesterday. Yeah, congratulations. Trevor saying the NBA should cut out the early 12 o'clock games. Players play with no energy. That did seem like that was very true yesterday. I'm not mad at it, though. They've had these noon games forever. They've been the worst for us in playoffs. We'll have a first-round matchup with the Brooklyn Nets, and we're playing on Saturday at noon for our game one of the series. And then, of course, we choke and lose. That kind of stuff is old Raptors kind of bullshit that I hate. The noon games, the first game of the playoff series in the first round on a Saturday, that was always shit that I hated. These guys are professional. They should be able to play at any time of the day when they're ready. They have to. And listen, this yesterday was in our favor. I'm not mad at the time yesterday because honestly, it was a game advantage for us, but we didn't utilize it correctly. And in some ways, we didn't care about utilizing it correctly because it was all about development yesterday, not about winning. And the Rockets had to play against the Mavs in a later afternoon game on Saturday, and they didn't get a full 24 hours off of games. And that's something that is a disadvantage. I'm going to say this right now. Both teams were flat and had a hard time shooting, but, in some ways that's contagious. That was the interesting thing at the beginning of the game. Nobody could score, right? Nobody could score for most of the first quarter except for Emmanuel. Emmanuel came out and scored the first 5 points for the Raptors. The first 5 points of the whole entire game was 5-0 for the Raptors, 0 for the Rockets. And Emmanuel scored all the points. I said, oh, this is a good indicator of professionalism. Both teams are not playing professionally. They both flat and they're both tired and they're both not playing right. And it's so early in the day, but Emmanuel's on it and he's scoring within it. I was like, Emmanuel's the most professional guy out there right now. It's kind of what I was thinking because he's the hard work and everything. And he's actually making shots when nobody else is. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. It's a weird game yesterday and it's annoying. And I'm wearing a purple hat today. It is what it is. It is what it is. The 12 o'clock games are useful when we're at home. How about that? They're useful when we're at home. Maybe not when we're on the road. But that was an advantage for us. We should have taken advantage of better to beat them on because they had much more, way less rest. Like, seriously, they finished the game yesterday, what, around 5 p.m., and they had to play their game before 5 p.m. even started yesterday. So, I'm just saying. James is saying Raptors have added a lot of solid assets, kind of like OKC. This team can be good in a year or two. I think they'll be better next year. I think it's going to start next year at the beginning of the year. Then some of it will have to do with Brandon Ingram being fully healthy. The thing is, if we reload the gun with new players for next year right now, like Brandon's already getting his footing around the Raptors organization, learning the guys, getting to know them, getting, they're not so like if we did this deal in the middle of summer or something like that, it would take longer for him to get used to everybody. But he's traveling with them now. He's hanging around the team. He's getting to know the guys. He's getting to know the coaches. He's getting to know the organization. And, midseason trades is sometimes hard to kind of get ensconced in the whole system of the new team. But him having the whole summer and pre-training camp and coming into next year, we'll see how that is. If we have a very high draft pick also from the lottery, that person will be coming in also to be involved with next year. So I think next year, actually, we're going to make a leap, James. I don't think it's going to be in 2 years. Maybe a year? No, I don't think it'll be at the end of next year. I think it's going to be at the beginning of next year, the beginning of the season that we're going to go into at the end of this year. We're going to be good. We're going to come in and we're going to play better. We may not win most of our games, but we'll be 500. We'll be 500. We won't be as low as we are right now. We'll be more of a 500 team, maybe just sub 500, but we'll be on that kind of climb from where we are in the standings right now. We'll definitely be a play-in team next year, if not a full-out playoff team. That's what I think. I mean, the only thing that'll mess us up is injuries. The only thing will mess us up. This talent and the roster we're built right now with a new draft pick from the draft this year is going to be good enough to be a playoff team next year, as long as we have health. That's how I feel about it. Yeah, Derps is saying this was the worst Super Bowl in a minute. Then again, I don't remember the past few. If you're enjoying the party, maybe that's why. I don't know. I haven't watched the Super Bowl in like a decade. I don't know. I couldn't tell you anything about that. I cannot opine on the Super Bowl at all. I did not watch any of it. I only saw the score after the game and that Philadelphia had won. That's all I saw. I didn't see anything about nothing. I did see that they scored very quickly early and they ran out and got the lead. And it was the Chiefs were never really in the game. Is kind of what I heard is what's going on there. Yeah. Nameless saying, would you call Scotty Barnes missing 8 3-point attempts in a live game action development? That was tough to watch. Listen, there's a lot of people coming at Scott right now, and it's not necessary. Doug Smith with his questions a couple days ago about him not starting well in games offensively, is bullshit. And some fans are running along with this now. This is what we're talking about, how the press can kind of like direct the toxic fans to new subjects to go and pull people apart on. And, Scotty doesn't deserve this. In some ways, look, Scott took 8 shots, but Jonathan took 6 and he missed them. Jonathan don't have no right to take 6 free pointers and miss them. I'm sorry. You were taking way too many threes, Jonathan. So I'm going to divert. I say, leave Scotty alone. He's a superstar, and Darko has given him the green light to shoot as many threes as he wants to. He's encouraged to. So there's nothing wrong with Scotty taking the threes. Sure, if he made them, that would have been great. If he had made at least 2 or 3 of them, that would have been acceptable. But he didn't. And he had an off shooting night, and a lot of the Raptors did yesterday. Jonathan should not have been taking all those threes. I'm sorry. The fact that Jonathan Mobo took 6 threes and was 0 for 6 yesterday drove me nuts. Because honestly, some of those threes he caught were drives that he could have drove the basket instead. And it was annoying to see him settle for the 3 so much and bombing threes and missing all of them. Jonathan is not a 3-point shooter like Grady Dick and Jamison Battle. I'm sorry. He has hit some this year. But how many did he hit in his collegiate career? None. It's like this is a new skill he just got from last summer. So him shooting so many high volume threes, like so many. He shot so many yesterday. I was getting so cringed. Like the earlier ones, I was like, oh, crap. Jonathan, stop shooting threes, man. You do not need to be shooting so many threes. Try it out for the first 2. If you don't make the first 2, you're red light. You're not shooting anymore. Seriously. And then he had one late just to check in the fourth quarter, and he still missed it. So he missed every single one. Like I said, 6 of our players last night were 0 for 24 collectively. And those 6 players were Scotty Barnes, Jonathan Mobo, Ochai Agbaji, Grady Dick, Chris Boucher, and Jamison Battle. And those are the best 3-point shooters on our team. Grady Dick, Chris Boucher, Jamison Battle, Scotty Barnes, Ochai Agbaji. It's crazy. So the guys that could make threes were Emmanuel Quickley, Robinson, Jamal Shed, and Jacoby Walter, making our 8 threes. And then those other 6 guys couldn't make jack shit. So I'll do the stars of the game real quick. Emmanuel Quickley is the star of the game. And that's why I'm like, why didn't he play at the end of the game? He was the leading scorer for both teams with 20 points, 6 of 15 from the field, 3 of 9 from 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 4 turnovers. So he wasn't really playing point guard yesterday. He had more turnovers than assists. It wasn't the most solid game by Emmanuel, but he was the guy carrying us and doing all the scoring for us for most of this game. And in some ways, like I said, he was the most professional player on the court between both the teams. And then Jeff Green came in and saved the Rockets. Bacon. Seriously, they weren't going to do jack shit without Jeff Green coming out there and being a leader. It's like the Rockets really are so young. They need Fred. They absolutely need Fred to keep organized. Without Fred, they're not organized. And Jeff Green came out there and did a Fred impression and got them organized. And he was absolutely the most valuable player for the Rockets on the other side. And in some ways, that pisses me off that we got beat and the best player for the other side with Jeff Green. I mean, that kind of shit pisses me off, honestly. Because honestly, it wasn't Jalen Green did step up late and do some stuff. Sengun was hurt. Dylan Brooks was annoying. He always steps up against the Raptors and makes big shots. But the key player for them to win was Jeff Green. And that's annoying, man. That's annoying. That dude's been in the league for so long. And they were having so much fun watching him dunk on us and stuff like that. What is this, man? What is this crap? But Emmanuel was my star of the game for the Raptors in the loss. My second star is Jamal Shed. Jamal Shed had the homecoming of coming back to Houston, and he had a lot of love there. A lot of people coming to the game and watching him, and there were people cheering for him in the middle of the game, too, for a Raptor on our side. And, 19 minutes for Shed, 6 of 9 from the field. He was mixing it up. He had some threes. And he also had some really smart takes to the basket, specifically when Jock Landale was in there. He was not a rim protector, and Jamal was not afraid to go in there and take baskets in the middle when the rim protection was not there after Sengun left. So Jamal recognizing that and also being very savvy at how he made his layups, really, really good. 6 for 9 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, 2 assists. 1 turnover, a -5 with 14 points in 19 minutes. That's not a great game in a lot of ways because he didn't get a rebound and he didn't get that many assists. But this is what we're scraping the bottom of the barrel of for this game yesterday. That this is one of the better stat lines for the Raptors because he actually shot well compared to everybody else. Everybody shot really bad, really, really bad. The percentages for both teams were bad, man. We shot 37% and they shot 36%. So both teams shot really bad. And that's from field goal. That's not from 3. That's a good 3-point shooting percentage, but it's not a good field goal percentage. The third star of the game for me is Agbaji. Agbaji was another guy who shot fairly decent yesterday. 5 of 8 from the field. He did miss all of his threes, 3 of them. 1 for 2 at the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, a -7 with 11 points in 32 minutes. I just gave a third star and a losing effort to a guy with 11 points who missed all of his threes. That's how bad this game was for how our guys did. It's just like that. I could give an honorable mention to Scott, even though 15 points is just not enough. In fact, I was crying out for Scotty to take over the game late and do that Barnes stuff. But no, the birthday boy on the other side, Jalen Green, who turned 24 yesterday, was the guy who got to do it. And in some ways, the embrace of Scott, the jersey swap with Jalen Green after the game just shows their deep friendship. But it was like, Scott, why don't you take the game over, man? Emmanuel took over the game early. You're the other really top premium player for us. Why don't you take the game over in the late and carry us? In some ways, you need to get your points up, bro. I mean, there is kind of a signaling of a shift now that we traded for Brandon Ingram. That Scotty's reprogramming his brain as far as what he does on the court, and he's taken the offensive mindset down, and he's really being more a glue guy. He's really going to try and expend all of his energy all over the place with rebounding, defense, and the offense is a second thought, is what I'm saying. So I don't know. I don't like this trend completely because I still did want to, in some ways, Scotty needs to have a year where he is absolutely the number one guy and dominates and tries to score like crazy. And then maybe the next year go back to being the glue guy who doesn't score a lot. But you need to prove that you have a ceiling with scoring where you could get like almost 50 points, Scott. Once again, your game high is really pathetic in some ways. Seriously. And you noted that last year in the summer when you saw, oh, my game high is 32 points in a game. I need to get 40 sometime. You still do need to do that, Scott. You still need to get 40. You still need to get 40. You've never scored 40 in a game, bro. SGA's getting 50s every once in a while. You never even scored 35, I don't think, bro. So seriously, Scott, in these kind of games like last night where it's not totally professional and things are crazy, this is an ecosystem where you could thrive and go get 40 to 50 points. Like, I don't understand why you're not doing this shit. Seriously. If it's not the hardest opponents like Memphis and Oklahoma City, and it's a pushover Rockets team that's in a bad place, why don't you take the reins and go get like 12 consecutive points and trips down the court and take over the game, bro? You have this capability. You can do a Kawhi, man. We've seen you do the moves. We've seen you got that shit. So why don't you do this shit, bro? Why are we waiting for you to wake up in the second half and carry the Raptors to win? This is the next part of your evolution, Scotty. You got to do this, bro. If you really want to be the absolute superstar and get all the accolades and get all the fame, you need to do this, even if it goes against your very, very, very giving nature and selflessness. You've got to do this, man, because in some ways, we need to see the ceiling of what your potential is when you are a selfish player. Seriously, this doesn't happen very often when we're like, yeah, we need you to be less selfish. We need you to give the ball to other people. That's usually the case with most alpha superstars that come into the NBA. But this guy, he just really doesn't want to do that for some reason. I don't get it. I don't totally get it. So Scotty was 6 of 19 from the field in 38 minutes, 0 for 8 from 3. The Nameless has a problem with that. Well, this is going to happen sometimes, bro. It's one game, and he's not going to shoot 0 for 8 the next game. I'm going to tell you that right now. 3 for 4 from the free throw line, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, a -4 with 15 points in 38 minutes. That's just not going to cut it, Scott. 15 points in a game against the Rockets like this? I can understand if you got 15 points against Zach Edey and the Grizzlies because Zach Edey's down there protecting the rim, but 15 points against the Rockets who ain't got nothing going on right now. In some ways, they got guys leaving the game. They're all-star. Freddie's not even there. Jabari's not there. Tari Eason's not there. Steven Adams not there. Scotty, wake up and score the ball, bro. Come on, man. Seriously. I'm telling you right now. All right, let me do the rest of the Raptors while I'm on the box score real quick. Jonathan Mobo, 3 for 10 in the starting role. He shot so bad early. He looked so bad with his offense early, but he was active. He was getting good development minutes from this. This was one of the most important games Jonathan's played so far in his rookie year because he got to start and play heavy minutes. Sometimes you start, you play like 20 minutes, but he got 31 minutes yesterday. And he was out there for a long hauls where he was getting tired, holding himself on his knees. And, he was just active and he was doing a good job for the most part. It's just the offense was ugly, just like him and Scott. Him and Scott were both ugly from the field. 0 for 6 for Jonathan from free, 4 for 5 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 blocks for Jonathan, which is fantastic. 2 turnovers, a -10 with 10 points in 31 minutes. I'm glad he got the double digits. But, yeah, he took a lot of shots that he really probably shouldn't have took that were 3-pointers. I'm sorry. He should have passed it again or drove because that driving lane was there. There was nobody near him. Drive to the basket, Jonathan. And y'all need to be really, really aggressive and strong near the rim. And, Jonathan, you found that out at the beginning of the year that, I got to go up stronger to finish the shots and make sure I complete them. And you start dunking it. Well, in some ways, you're sheepish again. And you're not going up strong again to make sure you convert the baskets again. So I noticed that because not all the misses he had yesterday were from outside. He did have a miss from the inside too, at least one. Let's see. Grady Dick got hurt, and that's that. You know what? I'm gonna say this: the way Grady got hurt, this isn't like RJ, because he did get concussion tested after what happened, but the impact of what happened, it's not really like a blunt hit that he took. It was more like a graze, maybe even like a fingernail scratch that I believe that was Thompson that hit him. That there was some dirty shit. Like Thompson's very physical player and he's very dirty. And at the very beginning of the game, he was hitting our guys left and right in very physical, aggressive ways. Like he's a very fast player with a lot of size, so he's very dangerous. and he hurls himself at different places and different people. It's very, very dangerous. I'm not surprised the Thompsons get hurt because the way they play is reckless. And also, some of the stuff he's doing was very reckless to our players. And Grady, that's kind of what happened. I'm sick of seeing Grady and Chris go up in the air and getting hit in the air, and there's no whistle. This shit is fucked up. There were twice where Chris Boucher got absolutely hammered by the Rockets, and the refs didn't call jack shit, and they were absolutely fouls. Absolutely fouls. Maybe it was a clean block, but they got him with his body because he's flying all over the place sideways on a dunk attempt. Well, Grady, same kind of thing. That injury to Grady looked more like a graze, a swipe of a fingernail to his neck or his face, and not like a blunt hit like RJ's head hitting the floor. So I'm going to say this right now. I think that Grady just got scratched. And I don't think that it's a contusion is what they're calling it. And that's another name for what I'm saying. I don't think he's going to be in that much trouble. Now, it could be a weird thing where he misses the last 2 games before the All-Star break just for precaution. And then he'll be back. He's not that seriously hurt, guys. And I don't think he's going to go into concussion protocol like RJ had to, because I don't see that the impact of what happened it had that kind of effect like what happened to RJ. So Grady in 14 minutes missed all of his shots. He had 0 points. He had a rebound, a steal, and a foul, and he was a +1. He was 0 for 2 at the three-point line. Yeah, just not enough of Grady. He would have really helped us late, honestly, because the stuff that was happening to us late in the second half was stagnation on our offense. And, well, the biggest cures for that are Grady Dick and RJ Barrett, but unfortunately, neither one of them were available at that time. And that's something some Raptors fans noted yesterday about the game was, man, RJ would have helped us so much in different places right here. Yeah, he would have helped. Jakob would have helped. Brandon Ingram would have helped. There's a couple people that could have helped yesterday to get us some scoring when we could not score in the second half. Grady would have helped if he had not left the game. He would have done some of that stuff. Chris Boucher came in for 18 minutes off the bench, 2 for 3. He missed all 3 of his threes, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 fouls, +1 with 4 points in 18 minutes. Yeah, in a game like this, like yesterday, you could have utilized him like Jeff Green. He's like our Jeff Green on the other side. And, in some ways, I'm just saying, if we were serious about trying to win this game yesterday, Chris Boucher would have been playing in the fourth quarter to close it out. I'm just saying. The experience on our team, Chris Boucher is the most experienced player on our team that was playing in the rotation yesterday. We're not counting Garrett because Garrett did not play. Chris Boucher was the most experienced player. After that's Emmanuel Quickley. After that is Scotty Barnes. And that just tells you, like, the third most experienced player is Scotty Barnes. And then after that, it's like Abaji or Orlando Robinson. So I'm just saying this team is not very experienced. And if you're going to sit the 2 most experienced guys in the last 6 minutes of the game, Emmanuel Quickley and Chris Boucher, we're going to lose. That's just how it is. Jamison Battle missed all of his shots and got 0 points in 14 minutes. I was really hoping he'd come out there and play good. I was saying stuff in the chat like, oh, he's better than Reed Shepherd. Look at how bad Reed Shepherd is. Reed Shepherd did look like he was totally conflated about his value in the draft last year. Man, people were talking Reed Shepherd this, Reed Shepherd that. When I saw Reed Shepherd last night, I was like, man, this guy is this is like they overinflated this guy. This guy doesn't even look like he's going to be able to play in the NBA, honestly. Seriously. I mean, if he's scared and he's not making his shot, he didn't look like he belonged. He didn't. And I believe Jamison Battle has a better career ahead of him than Reed Shepherd right now, which is amazing considering Reed Shepherd was a top 10 prospect that everybody was gushing over all last year. Well, I'm not impressed. That dude didn't look like anything special to me. And in some ways, Jamison Battle's a bigger guy. Even though he didn't score anything, Jamison, I wish he had hit a shot. But yeah, 14 minutes with 0 points for Jamison, a -12. Yeah, in some ways, he could have helped us if he had made some of his shots. Orlando Robinson, 17 minutes, 1 of 5. One shot he made was the 3. 9 rebounds, 1 block, +3 with 3 points. We were winning when he was out there. He's doing what he's doing. In some ways, he's got limitations, but in some ways, he's got skills that are absolutely helpful to us. And I appreciate him for it. He is very good at rebounding and holding space. And he is very, very good at trying to stop people from scoring. Jacoby Walter, also kind of an honorable mention out for the Stars. 25 minutes, 4 of 10 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 turnover, 10 points for Jacoby in 25 minutes. This is a game that's really, really good for Jacoby, Jonathan, and Jamal. And even Jameson, even though he had an 0 for game. It's just very valuable. We're getting that development time in. We're getting the development in for these young guys to uh, learn the NBA and feel more comfortable. This is paying it forward, guys. Didn't get the win, took the L, but we're paying it forward for the future when we do things like we did yesterday in a development game. It is what it is. Say lobby. It is what it is. That's right. Yeah, let's see. Nameless Saint going back to the well, coming up empty. Yeah, this was a very winnable game, and I'm pissed that we didn't win. We should have won it. We should have won it. We were in control. We had everything from the beginning of the game. I was like, oh, we can win this game, and we should win this game. The Rockets are being nostalgic, and they're trying to be like they were 2 years ago. That's what happens when Fred's out. Everything falls apart, and it's not organized. And I was like, man, Jalen Green's birthday? I didn't even realize it was his birthday because he ain't playing like his birthday. He's playing kind of in the shadows and not really doing anything. Well, he rose up and did something late in the game and made a difference at the end of the game by hitting threes finally. Yeah, it's annoying, man. It's annoying. I wanted to be the team that got going right at the end, but not in this one. It was the Rockets. Kareem saying Scotty Barnes is too well-rounded to go 0 for 8 from 3 and not have much of an impact in the game other than defense. When he taps in, that he can do everything at a high level, he will be perennial all-star. There was one play that was absolutely brilliant. That it was a little handoff to Chris, and it was over Reed Shepherd's head by Scott. It was no look, and it was one of the best plays Scotty has ever done as a Raptor, guys. He's doing really high-level shit. It's just in the moment and specific actions on winning actions in the middle of the game. It's not necessarily a winning shot. It's all kinds of different things he's doing. I don't think that Scotty had a really horrible game. He was very active. He was very much instilling the energy and organization for a team. It's just, once again, an NBA game is an NBA game. And I blame more us putting lineups out there that just weren't up to snuff to carry things and falling apart at key times, whether it was the first time I said in the first half, in the second quarter, where we put out a lineup of, if we don't have Emmanuel or Scotty on the court, we should have Grady on the court at least, is what I'm saying. We need to have some sort of level of excellent go-to guy who's on the court at all times. The rule before, when Emmanuel was hurt, was we need to have either Scotty or RJ on the court at all times. And well, I still feel like that's true. But the problem right now is that they're tethering the minutes of IQ to Scotty right now. And that's very much on purpose because they want them to gel and get as much court time on the court together. That totally makes sense. And so, once again, this is a development decision that's not necessarily a winning decision, because the winning decision would be to stagger them off each other and have either Scotty or IQ on the court at all times. But that's not what they're doing. They play Scotty and IQ together. And, well, there's a period of time on the court where we got Agbaji as our number one go-to guy on the court, and we're going to see our offense sputter at that point. And that happened in the second, and it happened late in the game in the fourth too, with some of the lineups they put out there. It was annoying. It was very, very annoying. The other thing that happened yesterday was because the game was so ugly and we're missing so many shots, sometimes when games are like that, they're more stressful, not stressful, they're more strenuous and more energy depleting. When you start the game and everybody's missing and they have to hustle for rebounds and they have to hustle for loose balls and it's ugly and the game's not that smooth, sometimes you lose more energy and endurance in those kind of games. And it was evidenced by our guys, and they were also held into the game long. Like he played the starters other than Emmanuel, who was on a minutes restriction. He pulled him out and put Shed in. They played the starters almost till like 9 minutes into the first quarter. And Scotty was absolutely gassed after that. In some ways, I didn't agree with that. Scotty's used to being the guy who gets pulled first. Like for the pattern of the year, most of the time, the first substitution is Scotty out because he can get the first shift real quick and then come back in sooner than later. But that wasn't the case. And Scotty had to play longer into the first. And you saw how dog tired he was at that point. It was not how long he usually, because he goes all out and he wants to, at the beginning of the game, set the tone. He'll go all out, and Darko will make him the first substitution out, and then he can get the rest. But it wasn't like that last night. He kind of burned out in the first quarter a little bit, if you guys didn't notice. Some people thought he was hurt. Matt Devlin and the announce crew saying, Scotty hurt at the end of the first quarter. No, it was just he was exhausted, and he needed to go sit down because he had just went all out at the beginning of the game, and he was in the first quarter for like the first 9 minutes. So that's kind of what happened there. It's kind of what happened there. Maybe Darko kind of burned out Scotty early in the game and he wasn't as good for the rest of the game. Could that be it? maybe a little bit, a little bit. I'm not being critical of Darko. He's making his decisions. And in some ways, if he's under the directive of the front office to develop and not necessarily win, none of these decisions are wrong that he did yesterday, is what I'm saying. Smooth saying Scotty was a tough watch yesterday. 0 for 8. Man, it really seems he will benefit the most from having Brandon Ingram slide into this 2-3 slot, that Scottie Pippen. Yeah, I'm not. Once again, I'm not going to compare Scotty to Scottie Pippen because I don't feel like that's a fair comparison at all. They have the same first name, and maybe they're all-round players, but they're not the same kind of all-round player. I'm going to say that right now. They really, really aren't. Yeah, you guys, we can go ahead. It is kind of in vogue for people to slam and put down Scotty right now because he has been struggling offensively with his shooting more recently. His free point percentage has dropped below 30% for the year. And that is a red flag. That is kind of a warning. And in some ways, he needs to do what he needs to do to get it right and continue to work and keep shooting. He's going to be fine. It's just, I don't know. There's the ups and downs of the NBA season. He's going to go through different times. And right now, he's not shooting that well from three. It is what it is. But yes, Brandon Ingram's going to help everybody. He's going to help everybody. I'm more and more excited about his possibilities for fitting in with the Raptors, because it seems like he's very willing to fit and be a team player and do it in a way that's going to be helpful for everybody, including himself. So that's what I like about that. Yeah. Trevor J saying the Charlotte Hornets have waived Seth Curry. Seth Curry has been waived by the Charlotte Hornets. Okay. He's getting older, and he's not the same talent level as his brother. So we'll have to see. The career of Seth Curry may be a little bit of a harbinger for Steph Curry, as far as like, well, if Seth Curry's done and he's gone all of a sudden, well, Steph may not be that much longer after his brother goes, is what I'm saying. So if they waived him and he doesn't get picked up, well, that's what I'm saying right there. Who knows? Who knows? We love the Curry family. We love our former Raptor, Del Curry, and the Curry brothers grew up in Toronto, and we have a lot of love and respect for those guys too. Smooth saying it's better for Barnes, in my opinion. Being the first option is too much for him, respectfully. Well, the only reason why I think that he should discover it, and maybe he should have been doing it already before all this new talent's coming in, like Brandon. I feel like maybe last year, or there were times he wasn't ready totally, that he should have been like this guy, like going all out, like a classic go-to franchise player, just to show that side of it and practice it. It doesn't mean he has to do it for the rest of his career. It's just that he needs to show a capability to do it. And that way, if he has that capability, well, he can go into it when we need it. It's a very useful skill for him to be the number one and close the game and carry us. And he has the offensive skills to do it. His mid-range turnarounds, he has the variance in his offensive game so that he can keep them guessing, and he can absolutely do this. Some of it is just getting more smart on reading the game and executing that way. And I don't know, man. With Brandon coming in, it may be like the training wheels are on the bike now, and RJ and Emmanuel and Brandon may be more likely to have this kind of work fall on their shoulders. But honestly, I think it would benefit Scott if he had this kind of chance, because seriously, we need to see what he's capable of. I want to see you score 50, Scott. I'm sick of this shit. You need to get, in some ways, this will help you in your standing in the NBA in a lot of different ways. If it's known that, yeah, this guy can throw down a bunch of points, because in some ways, that's part of why people disrespect you, bro. Because some of them, I know they're not really basketball fans that understand what makes basketball work to win. But some people gauge everything on how many points you can score. And in some ways, you may need to win those people over at some point by getting a 40-point game or a 50-point game. I'm just saying, man. Smooth saying, front office probably made the trade knowing Scotty might not be a first option. I think that in the first place, when we drafted him out of FSU, in some ways you don't have to gauge him. They probably had to gauge him from there. I mean, the fact that he was a bench player at Florida State is only a year. And even the way he played for us in his rookie year and stuff like that. I mean, this is something they probably knew when they got involved with him in the first place, that this may be part of it, but it may have been very attractive, because that kind of player that's a really high level that doesn't need to be the go-to guy is nice to have on your team, because it really compounds more talent into your roster. Because you can have that dude. It's really easy to be the go-to guy and be very, very talented. It's tougher to be the guy who's the glue guy, who's very, very talented in some ways, is what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they knew all along that Scotty's proclivity and his psychology is not conducive to being a go-to number one option. Yeah. Jimmy's saying Ingram putting up shots before the game yesterday, draining every three. Yeah, I can't wait, man. In some ways, I was thinking about this in the game yesterday. Scotty took a couple mid-range turnaround jump shots. Some of them went, and they would look nice. And some of the shots were just a little off. And I was thinking, you know what? Old Kingram of the North over there, BI3, the notorious BI3, he is very good with some of the stuff that Scotty is learning right now, like the turnarounds and the mid-range stuff. He knows this mechanic stuff, and he really knows like the stuff. There may be some workshopping Brandon could do with Scotty on tips, maybe helping him clean up his middies and making his turnarounds a little bit more polished and dependable. There's a move Grady did in the game last night that was new that I had never seen. He drove to the basket. He didn't make the basket, but it was a very new move that we hadn't seen. In some ways, this is what we want to see: is these guys developing their offense to do new stuff and new moves. And Grady kind of showing off a new direct drive to the front of the rim and splitting the defense at the beginning of the game last night was very eye-opening to me. I was like, oh, this is a new wrinkle in Grady's offense. It was just like Scott starting to habitate in the mid-range area with the turnarounds like Kawhi's. In some ways, that is a type of offense that Brandon Ingram's mastered. And who knows, maybe there's a couple little tips and a little bit of like talking to Scott where he could help him with some of his offensive shots in that department. Because seriously, Ingram's very good at offense. Very, very good. And as much as Davion could teach some people some defensive stuff earlier this year, well, Ingram could probably teach some people some stuff. Grady and Scotty and Jacoby some stuff with their offense, which is going to be really, really good. Really, really, really good. Yeah. Let's see. Smooth saying if Scotty had that mentality and wanted to take over the game, it might have been different. He wilted though. Disappointing, especially that Houston was not healthy either. No, everything about the game pissed me off. That's why I'm wearing purple. I had no expectations, but when I saw the settings of the game and the ability for the Raptors to win the game, I was like, all right, well, we can win this game. Let's go win it. But they managed not to. And then at the end of the game, I was like, well, this is just like in the fall when we would compete with teams right through the whole game, make it very like competitive. And we had the chance to win, but we wilted or failed at the end of the game. It's very similar to that. This one was weird though, because in the fourth quarter, we had the chance to step up and rise up and take it at any point because they weren't really doing a whole lot to stay ahead. And that 7-point margin is kind of inflated, honestly. It sucks, man. And the refs weren't totally cool with us. Courtney Kirkland was a little bitch at times yesterday. The challenge calls were interesting, and it is what it is. In some ways, that ref crew wasn't that great. In the beginning, in the first half, Sean Corbin was looking out for us. Courtney had a couple calls that helped us out. There was an out-of-bounds call on the Rockets, which gave us the ball, but then they called us for an out-of-bounds in the second half. There's the little bits of evening out in different places. They were more pro Raptors in the first half and less in the second. And Courtney Kirkland was, he was pretty cold on some stuff. If they had taken away that 3-point shot that we made after struggling so long because of a foul off the ball and that confusing moment, oh man, I would have been so pissed. And some of y'all in the chat were freaking out about it too. About what? They're not going to count that 3? We've been struggling to score so much and we finally hit a 3, but they're going to whistle a call. And I'm telling you, that's a way that ref manipulation can happen. They didn't go all the way through with it because it was obvious that the shot went through before the Rockets fouled us after the shot. So they better count that 3-point. But that is a really weird way that where they can wipe points off and hurt a team all of a sudden just by making up some bullshit and say, no, that was the foul was before. No shot, wave off the shot. You get to shoot free throws, and that's it. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, that out of bounds call when they reviewed it, yeah, that was out on us. It was very 50-50, and it looked like it could have gone either way, but that was out on us. That was the right call. I wasn't totally happy with the refs yesterday, though. I really wasn't. Let's keep going. Let's see. Smooth saying, yeah, Toronto was trying to lose that game. It wasn't the way to go, man. Take the W. It's very hard to digest it. I'm mad because I want to win. I want to get to 26 wins, and this was a winnable game, but that wasn't in the cards. Jakob not being out is a big indicator. We're going to lose games. Seriously, Jakob is very much, we don't win. We haven't won a single game with Jakob out this year. So when Yaga is out, in some ways that's the signal that the white flag is up, and we are ethically doing whatever. Stank Nation, yeah, there was a little bit of something for development for y'all right now. That's what's going on right there. That's right. That's right. Randolph's here. Good morning, beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang. Limit your words by thinking before you speak, and you will not appear to be a fool. I love this word of wisdom, but it does not apply to me because I embrace being the fool. Some people say, Lex, you got no filter. You're crazy. Yeah, I am. I am crazy. And I do say things off the top of my head, and I don't think before I speak. And that is foolish. But in some ways, that's part of the entertainment of me being here is I'm a fool. And in some ways, I'll make a fool of myself to be funny or to do what I do on this channel. It's just part of it. But this is good for people that want to be private and don't want to be a fool. Think about what you're going to say before you say it. I do try to think about what I say before I say it. And I've tried to train myself to not have such a crazy my filter, but some ways I can't control it at all. And it is what it is. But this is good words of wisdom from Randolph, even though I choose not to take him. Blessings to the Phillips family and all the other Raptor Freak families. Good to see you, Randolph. Fiercey's here also. Good to see Fiercey, Salsera, Scotty Barnes, Twitch family 2022. Good morning, fam, and happy Monday. Not sure yesterday was the display. We started off very well before halftime. Like Darko said, let's live in the present on to the next game. Yeah, he wasn't that upset. Like, that's a sign that this is not something that they're serious about, is that Darko wasn't mad about us crumbling and wilting at the end of the game. No, that was part of the plan. In some ways, he didn't waste any anger on that. He just blamed we didn't shoot well enough to win the game. That the Rockets woke up and started making their shots, and the 3 points made were what decided the game, is what he's saying. That's his official declaration about the status of how the game went down and why it went down this. I mean, let's go do the box score. Why not? We'll go look at the team stats. First of all, let me give kudos to the other side. Dylan Brooks, 19 points, 5 for 16 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3, 7 of 9, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, +2. Dylan got into it with Sean Corbin almost right away at the beginning of the game. It was hilarious. Dylan's going to get up for our team. And in some ways, that's part of the reason why I want to see Chris out there, because I want to see the Ducks go against each other, best friends. Dylan loves playing the Raptors. That was the team he loved when he was a kid. And let's not get it twisted. He loves playing the Raptors because of his hometown. And he has extra special stuff for us. He is a Raptor killer. He's a Canadian Raptor killer. And in some ways, I admire it, but in some ways also I fear it. And in some ways, he's annoying for it. But yeah, he was funny. He was more active in the first half and doing things to help them. As I said, Amen Thompson's very reckless player, very, very dangerous player. And he's annoying to me, honestly. He's annoying to me. 8 points for Amen with 10 rebounds. He was kind of annoying. Jalen Green on his birthday woke up. He was nothing in the first half, kind of like running cardio. But then he woke up in the second half and made 2 threes that were really important with 18 points for him. 9 rebounds also for Jalen Green. On the download, that was a big help. And then, as I said, Jeff Green was their best player, 14 points on 4 of 7 shooting. He had a +10. And he was really, really helpful. Cam Whitmore chipped in the game also and was a big, big part of helping them with 3 threes. The 3 threes of Cam Whitmore were very, very helpful. Now, looking at the team stats, this is kind of the tale right here. Both teams shot horrible. As I said, they both shot around 36%. We did manage to get more field goal attempts than them and make more shots, but the 3-pointers, they made 2 more threes than us. We shot 19% from 3. That is horrible. They didn't shoot much better, though. They only shot 26%. Free throws. This was actually a place where they artificially helped the Rockets. Like, seriously, the Rockets aren't any better than us. It's not like they were being any more aggressive than us either. They weren't. We were working just as hard as them. So why the hell did they get +11 free throw attempts than us yesterday? And we lost by 7. So in some ways, shadiness is on the refs. The refs were handing way more free throws to the other side, and that was a factor. They made 9 more points off threes in the game last night, and we lost by 7. So in some ways, we could even say the refs fucked us over by giving so many free throws to the Rockets. Seriously, the free throw discrepancy was there, and it had more than the margin, just a bit more than the margin we lost by. They out-rebounded us by 10, 58-48. I expected this with Sengun in the lineup, but when Sengun went out, I didn't expect it after that. Y'all should have started battling a little bit better by then. But then again, we were short-staffing ourselves with height out on the court by not playing very big lineups, young, rookie-centric lineups with Jonathan as the center and only big on the court at times. And that'll get you a plus 10 deficit on rebounds with the other team. The offensive rebounds were a key for them also with 10 offensive rebounds. We didn't get our assist numbers yesterday. It was weird. We only got 19 assists. And that's a sign that our chemistry, well, actually, it's more of a sign that we weren't making shots, honestly. The chemistry was okay. It's just that the shots weren't going down and assists weren't being made because nobody was making shots. And that's a big problem. Turnovers weren't bad. We only had 10 turnovers. Once again, we're losing. We're playing really well, like ethically and fundamentally, because we're not getting an overabundance of turnovers. So we can't blame turnovers right now. That's not really what it is. In fact, they had 5 more than us. Points in the paint, we did win 40-32. But fast break, they got on the fast break and got 23 fast break points. And that was a problem. Yeah, it's a weird game, man. It's a weird game. In some ways, I kind of want to get the neuralizer from Men in Black and just forget this game. Bzzz. As Fiercey said, let's stay present and look forward to the Sixers game tomorrow. And there's news out of Philadelphia that Joel Embiid is conceding that he thinks he might have to have knee surgery yet again. But he's not going to do it now. He'll wait until after the season. Man, this is such a gamble with this guy. I don't think this guy will ever be healthy again because it just seems like he's just not going to happen. In some ways, it's partly because of his body and everything. It's just he's a big, huge dude, and he plays recklessly with his body. Well, it's going to get hurt, and he's messed up his knees. And I don't know, man. The news on ESPN on their front page is Embiid is reluctantly saying, yeah, I think I'm going to have to get a surgery again because things aren't right. It's not getting better and it's all screwed up. Well, I would say this. You're an idiot, man, if you don't do it right now then. Seriously. If you need a surgery again, forget about this year. Y'all are in the bottom of the standings. Y'all need to get him under the knife right now and start him getting healthy and scheduled for next year. If y'all going to do some stupid ass shit, we're going to try and play him for the rest of the year with Nick Nurse coaching him and run him into the ground, maybe even damage him even further. You need to just get over what's inevitable. Sixers, you need to go ahead and end them for the year and go ahead and just get him some surgery right now and wipe this year out of like trying to do anything because this year's been a disaster for the 76ers. And I honestly, I'm saying this. I don't even know why I'm saying this to y'all. This is helpful. This isn't toxic. This isn't me trying to make fun of y'all. I'm just saying if I was the Sixers, I'd shut him down right now and just go ahead and get that damn surgery he needs again right now and give him a lot more time to be ready for next season. Because if y'all wait and you go to the playoffs and you mess around with him in the playoffs and he does it after the season, he's not going to be ready for the season next year. Seriously. But if you do it now, he may be ready for the beginning of the season next year. I'm just saying, this year is a wash for y'all. Why the fuck wouldn't you do this, Sixers Nation? I don't know. I don't care. In some ways, why am I helping y'all? Seriously. That's what I say about that, man. That's what I always say about that, man. All right, let's see what's going on here with Carlos saying, I'm with Carney all the way. Carney? Who's Carney? Carney? From the Wilson Phillips. You like Carney? I like Carney too. She had a good singing voice. Someday you're gonna find out, then you're gonna turn around. Till then, I didn't really like Wilson Phillips, but you're talking about Carney? Carney? Yeah, I don't know. Carney all the way. Okay. Neil saying, big up, Raptors freaks. Big up, Neil. Good to see you this morning, man. Fiercely saying, I'm also happy no three-peat for the Chiefs. I always root for the underdogs, so congrats, Eagles, led by humble Jalen Hurts. Halftime was heavily charged with messages on protecting Black women. I like that. That's very, very good. I like that. I didn't see it, so I don't know. I couldn't tell you. In some ways, it's like, it is what it is. I did not engage in the capitalist spectacle of the Super Bowl yesterday. Let's see. Fiercely saying Samuel L. Jackson is Uncle Sam. Squid Game representing rich, killing the poor, etc. So there's a lot of messaging in the halftime show. I don't know. I won't go back and watch it. In some ways, that's all coding and bullshit anyway that they're trying to do in certain ways. But if there was good political messaging in some sort of ways, I mean, the thing is, right now we can't be sedated and sit back and just, everything's going to work out. No, we need to activate and we need to do things that we can do within our sphere of influence and power to try and stop the fascist wave cascading around the world. It's not just even here. There's problems in Germany right now with people getting in the streets to fight alt-right, crazy-ass racists, Nazis that are popping up in different governments around the world right now. just like in the United States. So these are good messages that it sounds like you saw in the halftime yesterday. Yeah, Uncle Sam was Samuel L. Jackson. Okay, cool, man, cool. I like that. Fiercely saying, but the American flag representation in Drake's song, I was not too enticed. My opinion. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't care. In some ways, I'm not going to give power to Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us" in the ways that some people might want to. That's a song about L.A. It's not a song about Canada and U.S. It's a song about people in the city being united together on the streets in the middle of a city war zone in Compton. Is more what it's about than anything else. And that's the thing that it goes over people's heads. They're going to take the little messaging and they're going to run it into other spin it in other places. But yeah, Not Like Us is more like you're not like us here in Compton out there in the suburbs. That's what it's more about. Seriously. That's what it's about. Let's see. K Dot killed it last night. So Kendrick killed it. You thought he was good, Kaloy? Okay. Smooth saying Kendrick's performance was geared towards real hip hop heads. It wasn't inclusive, in my opinion. It was a fail. Well, old people are just going to go right over their heads, and it might scare the hell out of some of them too. That's the thing. I don't know. The Super Bowl is so stupid. The whole thing is stupid. You guys want to have a reason to get drunk and have a party? You go ahead. You make it whatever you want it to be. Super Bowl is the Super Bowl. It is what it is. In some ways, I don't care about it. I really don't. I know y'all want to talk about it a bit because it was yesterday. Let's see. And Smooth said, plus he took the opportunity to dig Drake again. Drake responded with a lawsuit. Interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, I'm not going to try and protect Drake anymore at this point. When he threw DeMar under the bus on a live television broadcast, I'm just not, I can't anymore. You just went against one of our very important own. And yeah, fuck you for that, Drake. Still, for saying what you said about DeMar on the broadcast the last time they allowed you to have a mic. Yeah, you didn't need to turn Raptors Nation against you. Seriously, you're not higher on the ranking of beloved in Raptors Nation than DeMar DeRozan, Drake. Seriously, you're an idiot, man. So yeah, I'm not even trying. I'm not even trying to stand up for him. He's on his own with Kendrick. That's what I'm saying, man. That's it. That's it. Yeah, let's see. Fiercely saying, I will give him creativity, but like Lex said, many who hated it were driven by racism, hoping and dreaming of a united world. Yeah, I know. You know what? I'm gonna say this. I watched this clip yesterday or a couple days ago about this guy who's talking about how what happens is when things are bound to change for good and people are scared of that, they get more intensified and more aggressive in trying to keep the old that they love. And this is part of what's happening with the racists right now. Woke culture, DEI and stuff scares the hell out of them because they are scared of equality because in some ways for them in their lives to feel okay, they have to have somebody below them. And this is pretty sad and pathetic. And in some ways, they're not really below anybody because they're poor and just as poor as minorities and stuff. But they just got to feel like they have a superiority by race or something like that. It's so fucked up. It's all from fear and being a weak person. Well, this guy on this thing I saw, he was explaining that this is the end of this era. The civil rights era happened in the 50s and brought about equality for black people in the United States. Women's rights came up and more we're moving more and more towards equality. It's not totally real equality and some of it's a mirage, honestly, when it comes to classes with the billionaire class and the rest of us. But these people are scared, and the fear of DEI and wokeness is just really a fucked up ploy by the right wing to mobilize people to support them. And they're going full in on it and it's really ugly. And they're trying to backtrack. But don't get it twisted. Their actions and their way that they're going is the last gasp of effort for them to stop what is going to happen anyway. That they won't win on this. That's part of the reason why they're so aggressive against it because they're scared because the world of woke and DEI will win in the end. And that's why they power grab the government and they're trying to really kill it all in the way they're doing it because it scares the hell out of them. This is the same shit the Nazis did in Germany where they started burning medical books and all kinds of information about things like trans and other things like that. It's all the same actions. The fact that I called them Nazis consistently in the last year has all been proven true. And anybody who thinks that they're not Nazis, you're fucking stupid as fuck. They are epitome of Nazis, racist and crazy and absolutely trying to control everybody's lives in a really fucked up way like the Nazis did in Germany 100 years ago. So I'm just saying the part of the reason why they're so agitated and coming so aggressively right now is they know they're losing in the long run. And this is the last big, huge push for them to try and save their racist world that they want right now. But they're going to lose in the end. Watch. And it's going to be badass. And we'll all be here to see the up and come up. In some ways, it's like an 80s movie where the kid gets bullied by the bullies. And well, he comes back and gets them in the end. In some ways, the bullies are winning in the part of things right now. But fiercely, I'm just going to say, this is part of the reason why they're so aggressive is because they see the real change of woke culture and the reality of the real world that people do want inclusiveness and equality. And they're just trying to grab power and stop it as much as they can right now. Well, the people want to make their voices heard and stand for what they want to stand for in this world. They will. And I hope they do. God willing, they will. They will. That's what I'm saying. Carlos saying, I was wondering if Kendrick would fire the first shots in the revolution. I think he low-key did. Don't say shit like this, Kaloy, because we don't want any kind of bullshit like first shots or revolution or any kind of stuff. The revolution needs to be against Trump and the MAGA and taking them down as soon as possible because they are a threat to world peace. They're a threat to the security of our country here. They are a threat to all kinds of individuals and people that are being persecuted by their subjugation right now also. So I'm just saying, man, don't say language like this. We don't need any kind of act of violence or warfare, but it may get to that. And that's why I don't want you to use this kind of language. Seriously. Fiercely saying so many talented players being waived. I strongly believe some may work in different systems. It's just a question of finding the right fit. Also, if the team has interest in the player, it's going to be harder than ever. Listen, the fits are harder in the league with the new cap structure. And if you're not exactly right, hasta la vista, baby. I'm sorry, you're not going to be in this league. That's why a lot of knuckleheads going to find the door, and a lot of older veterans that are just don't have a place anymore. That's natural that they're going to age out and leave at a certain point. Thad Young, we love you, man. I'm sorry nobody called, but it's just how it is. It's just natural. You're older, you're going to age out of the league. The average NBA career is like 4 years, guys. It's 4 years. So, there's people that play less than the 4 years. You got to think about Kyle Lowry getting almost 20 years, and he's balancing out the whole median. The average is 4. So Kyle Lowry getting 20, that means somebody's getting 1 year, half a year, one game. That's it. So it's just how it is. The game's a very difficult business, and it's even gotten harder to make the NBA at this point because salary cap structures are difficult to maneuver at this point. And there can't be any waste at this point. They can't have more risk in young prospects being knuckleheads and not doing anything with their lives. No, they need to get the right ones in the right place because people like James Wiseman and Zion Williamson and Ben Simmons have taught them some harsh lessons in the NBA, is what I'm saying. So it's just how it is. It's just tighten it up. And you got to be that much better. You can't just be talented. You got to be a hard worker, and you also have to have the right personality to fit in with the organization. If you don't have that, you're a headache. You could be really, really good. You may not find the league now. It really is like you have to have all the things and get them all. That's right. Let's see. Carlos saying the 3 rookies in crunch time tells me we were prioritizing development over winning. Yes, completely. That's in the title of this stream. That is exactly right. Mischief saying Ingram played 79 games, averaged 28.8 minutes in his first year. I think if we play Brandon 29 to 30 minutes per game, he could be more reliable than playing him more than 33 minutes per game. This is very specific by Jay, the base man. I like the way he's thinking. I think that's about the right spot. In some ways, part of the problem has been said is Brandon's overworked his body, and that's why he's been injury prone. So, part of it is the load management of Dr. McKechnie and the minutes management by Darko. And we'll have to see. I like that. It sounds about right to me, right around 30 minutes a game for Brandon. Let's see what he can produce in that time. And we're not overusing him or overstressing him, putting too much of a burden on him where he might get more hurt. And I like that. I like that idea all around. Mischief, I'm going to give you a dunk for bringing up the minutes for Brandon. I don't know. I'm just randomly giving dunks here for stuff that I just feel like that's something that's kind of dunk worthy. So were you getting your second dunk of the year? You got 6 points on the dunks. Fiercely saying Schroeder, Seth Curry. Hang on, it jumped ahead. Let me get back to the back. LiAngelo, just kidding. In reference to Angelo. But on a serious note, Dennis and Seth can help teams. Ben Simmons should have actually been waived. He's a Clipper now. Schroeder didn't get waived. That was fake news. Trevor gave me fake news this week. He's given me a couple of things that were fake news recently, and I've not been happy about it. I really want things to be actual. Dennis did not get waived by Detroit. That was not true. He's still on the Pistons. That was absolutely fake news. So I got to be more vigilant and second checking things because I just saw it and I thought it was true and I reported it on my channel. And that's why I'm mad at you, Trevor, for that. Is because when you bring me stuff like this, you got to make sure it's true. If I don't double check it, like I should have on that one because it looked like it was real, then I look like I'm not telling the right things on this channel. And I don't want to do that. That's very important to me. My integrity on my information is very, very important to me. So I can't have that happen again. Seriously. The Dennis Schroeder thing really kind of is like, I feel bad about it because I did not want to misinform people. And I really, really didn't like that at all. And he's not waived. He's still on the Pistons. He's going to still play. So fiercely, I'm sorry that you still thought that Dennis Schroeder got waived because of my misinformation. He has not. He's still on the Pistons. And Ben Simmons is on the Clippers. Yes. Nako saying, I'm less worried about Scotty scoring these days. I'd hope to see less threes when Brandon comes in. Scott's defense is as good as ever. Yeah, but Nako, do you understand why I'm saying this? It's just that we need him to show that he has that capability and powers. Part of it is so that he can be more of a threat and the defensive schemes for other teams, and they have to really take him more into account. I mean, it's not a bad thing for him to show that he can be overpoweringly scoring because it may really change the defensive coaching plans for him against us from the opposition, and it could really open things up for other people. He needs to be that threat. He needs to be that threat on the court that can take over the game at any moment. If he can establish that badge in real life in the NBA, that would be really smart, Scott. Seriously, even if you don't actively use that badge all the time, you might want to have that badge on your player profile on your real life NBA 2K body in your life. Seriously, this is an easy way to get it across to him. Scott, you know the badge I'm talking about. I don't know exactly what it's called on the NBA 2K game, but that badge where you carry in your clutch. You need to get that badge for yourself in real life, is what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, listen, he can always just be a little bit lesser, Gerald. That's not the issue. I want to see him expand his capabilities and the ceiling of what is possible with him, because in some ways the ceiling is very low right now as far as his offense. He could score way more, and he has not done that yet. Fiercely saying, I think we need a real backup center, someone with experience. Sengun was out the first quarter. They still had Landell. Actually, they also have Adams, although he was out yesterday. We need more bigs. Well, this has always been the case. I've been crying out for bigs since Mark and Serge left. Ever since then. Mark and Serge gone after that bubble. And ever since then, Len and that other guy who came in and was our centers that next year? No, they didn't fit it. Okay, Freddie Gillespie and Ken Birch, that's a little bit better in the step of direction. But, Jakob being back in the fold, just think about that, Fiercely. We went from, like, Ken Birch and Freddie Gillespie as our two centers to Jakob and whoever's behind him now that Kelly's gone. Orlando Robinson. We're in better shape for centers than we have been. But I agree, we always need depth at center. And Kelly leaving and Yak being out, well, we see it. We see it right now when we need it. We need it right now. That's right. And we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Orlando Robinson for the rest of the year is a good step. Carlos saying, yeah, I'm not worried about Scotty at all. If I'm guessing he and the team are trying shit out for development. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if y'all hear me say this. I just want to see him show that there's a level if he did go in that mode. That's all. Because I've never seen him go into this mode ever. And in some ways, it scares me. And that does really feed the argument that Scotty is just not that kind of guy. He's never going to be a go-to guy in the league. And in some ways, I wanted him to prove me wrong. It was very similar with Siakam a few years ago. I was crying out for Siakam to be more carrying and taking over the game to win games. And I know in Indiana at this point, he's probably done that more often and more successfully at this point than he was here in Toronto. So it's a thing you develop over the years. You can't just be clutch and take over games in the fourth quarter and really, really dominate and win unless you're like Kobe and Michael Jordan kind of players. Well, Pascal, has he developed that more and more as his career gone on? Because I wanted it more from him a couple years ago on Toronto, and maybe he does it better now on Indiana because he's older and more practiced. So maybe that's part of it with Scott, that as his career goes on, he'll get better and better at this aspect that we're talking about right now. Let's see. Less three-pointers from Scotty. Yeah, the threes, they're going to have to take them, and they were there. It's just nobody was making them. It is what it is. In some ways, the missing of the shots is not is more the problem than actually taking them. Taking the shots is great. That's Darko wants them to shoot as much as possible. It's just they didn't square up and zone in and make it. And sometimes you're just off. So, we can't get mad at Scott for going 0 for 8, guys. I'm sorry. You can't. You cannot do that. You should be more mad at Jonathan for going 0 for 6, though. Darko has given Scotty the green light to shoot 12 threes a game if he wants to. He said that earlier in the year. So shooting 8 and missing 8, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Let's see. Mischief wants 6'9". Rasheer Fleming has a 7'5" wingspan. Yeah, he's awesome. I've scouted him, and I like him. And he's one of my top 5 picks for the draft. I've looked at him and I like him. And yeah, that wingspan's awesome. 7'5". Damn. Just like Seymour's saying there. Damn. Nako's saying at Mischief. I don't think he's falling to us. I don't know where we're picking, Nako. You can't say this shit. He's not. You can't say he's not falling to us. You can't say this, Gerald. We could get the first pick still. So any kind of comment about, I don't think he's going to fall to us, you can't say that, man. You don't know where we're picking. So anything's possible. We could still get flagged at this point. Seriously. So don't limit your belief. Fleming could be very possible to us. Seriously. Expand your mind and allow for anything is what I'm saying. Yeah. 6 of 19. Oh my God. 6 of 19. 6 of 19 from the field for Scotty and his shooting yesterday. Yeah, 6 of 19. I mean, that is pretty bad, but it's not. He's had worse shooting games this year. I've seen him shoot a 3 for 24 or something like that. So, I mean, it is what it is. Mischief saying maybe in second round, Nako, he's projected to go 26. Yeah, I don't see why he said that we won't get him because we're not high enough. I've never seen Fleming in the top 5, and we could get anything from 5. I think we'll get maybe, I don't know what pick we're going to get exactly, but I don't think Fleming's top 5, and we'll be able to get to him if we want him. I don't even know if we want him, though. I don't even know. Trevor's saying that Anthony Davis will be out for multiple weeks. Yeah, he's been abducted. It's his abductor. And, well, this is it. This is how it goes, Dallas. This isn't going to help. Anthony Davis trying to help Mavericks fans calm down about the Luka trade. Well, this isn't helping. This has made it even worse, probably, in some ways. They see right away he got hurt right away, and he's out for weeks, and they're just like, why did we trade Luka? This is crazy. And the way they're slamming Luka since, the Mavericks organization, calling him lazy. The owner came out, and he's a big, fat tub of shit himself. How the hell are you going to call that man lazy with your body type, motherfucker? Patrick Dumont. Seriously. All right now. Okay. Yeah. Okay, man. All right now. Let's see. Smooth saying that Sid Cicero got fired. Wow. He's like me a little bit. This will get back to Randolph's words of wisdom. You got to have that filter, especially if you're working for a corporation on breakfast television. And you say something out of pocket there, man, you can get in trouble. Sid Cicero always been kind of a cocky little goofy kind of jokey guy. And in some ways, I've never liked him because he's been kind of mean to the Raptors at times. He hasn't totally respected the Raptors correctly. And, well, you get what you get. I'll say what Jack Armstrong would say. You get what you get, man. You get what you get. Kareem saying, after the All-Star break, I expect Jacoby and Jamal to jump up the ladder in the running for Rookie of the Year. That's not going to happen. In some ways, I'll tell you why. They're already ignoring our rookies. If they were really paying attention to our rookies, they would have given them more accolades. It's not fair totally either because they're looking at Sarr and Rizacker. Riza Shay's on the Washington Wizards. He ain't doing jack shit. But he's still getting a lot of props and getting rising stars and all this kind of stuff. Our rookies have been performing so well all year long, but there's 4 of them. And in some ways, that always negates each other. That's part of the problem is if you have a couple, they'll cancel each other out and keeping they didn't even give any of them on the rookie ladder ever. Jacoby, Jonathan, Jamal at different times this season have all deserved some sort of being on the rookie rank because they've ignored every single one of them. So I can't say this is true, Kareem, unless they go really, really heavy in development and they're getting major minutes and they are producing a lot. We could see that. But most of the time, they're just going to ignore them. And the fact that not a single one of our great rookie class is in the Rising Stars Challenge symbolizes this, that they've overlooked Jamal, Jonathan, and Jacoby. And I say it's wrongfully because those guys are actually top rookies this year. This is not a good rookie class, and these guys are actually good rookies this year. So it's a real oversight. I wish that they would be in the running, but I'm not holding my breath on this. I think they're going to continue to ignore them for the rest of the year. I would be lucky if this is what happens. At the end of the year, one of our rookies gets a second All NBA team. That's what I'll say. They won't make the All NBA first team, but if we can make one of our rookies somehow, some way, maybe Jacoby Walter is on that All NBA second team, that would be fantastic. I'll take that. In some ways, that's better than ESPN's rankings and their bullshit that they put out about how they see it. But if we get an actual award, like, hey, you're all rookie team, second team, Jacoby Walter, I'll take that over any kind of article that ESPN or ranking that they put out. So that's what I say right there. All right, Nako wants me to scout Trey Johnson. All right, Nako monopolizing the scout of the day. Mischief, you were in there. You could have done it before him, but it's fine. We'll go look at Trey Johnson. It seems like a very common name. There's Trey Jones in the league, but it's Trey Johnson. Okay, let's see. This kid is 18. He's a Texas kid. We've seen the Texas connections. This is why Jacoby Walter was rooting for the Eagles, is because Jalen Hurts is a Texas guy like him. Well, Trey Johnson's a Texas guy. He's a shooting guard for the Texas Longhorns, and he's from Dallas, Texas. 6'6", 184 pounds, and he's a 5-star recruit according to all of the things, Rivals, ESPN, 247 Sports, and he's a ESPN grade 94 on here. What position does he play? Shooting guard. He's a shooting guard. He's a McDonald's All-American and a Texas Mr. Basketball. All right, let's go look at Trey Johnson of Texas Longhorns, and let's see the scout of the day. And let's see Lex's unfiltered thoughts on Trey Johnson for the first time ever seeing him. Didn't even know he existed until a couple minutes ago, guys, just so you know. That's just how it is. All right, we're going to look at early season highlights. It's just a 5-minute clip. Let's see what this looks like. Trey Johnson, he's averaging about 20 points per game, 2.6 rebounds, 2.2 assists. So he's very much a scorer. He's not fleshed out on the other stats. So he's very much a scorer. All right, there's a nice little dribble back to the three. Nice little pop action, making the three. The crowd's getting live from his shot. All right, let's see. He's backing down. He has a nice little turnaround like Scotty's been doing towards the baseline. Not a bad shot. Good mechanics. He's 6'6", so I don't know if that shot's going to work in the NBA. That's a pretty long three right there. A little dribble, make the shot. He wears a headband, guys. He's a headband guy. All right, let's see. What else is this guy going to do? He's going to hit some long threes. That's NBA three. There's a nice little off the backboard dunk and transition his teammate gave him. There's a steal and a three with a guy in his hand, his face, and he's like 3 feet away from the college three-point line. There's a little like glide through the lane. There's defenders right there. He goes right around him and dunks it. So there is a little bit of attack in the rim, a little bit of hops on the 6'6" frame. Yeah, he seems like he's a very quality wing player. I like the mixing up of the threes. The threes look really steady, and the drive into the lane, there's a nice little layup around the defense. So yeah, this guy's all right at this position, which is not a position I value trying to draft for. He seems like a good prospect at this position for this draft. But I'm not drafting for a wing right now. We've got wings like we don't need wings. We got tons of wings. So many different wings. We got RJ, we got Grady, we got Jacoby, we got Brandon now. So I don't see a place for Trey Johnson in the mix of the puzzle right now. If we didn't have Jacoby Walter, maybe this guy would be good to have coming in. But I would say I don't think we should personally draft him. But I think he's a very good player at the position in this draft. Out of all the shooting guards, swingmen, kind of small forwards, I say Trey Johnson's one of the best ones I've seen so far. Because in some ways he's very measured. And I think that I trust his body to be NBA okay because he has the nice long arms and the frame and the extension and the length on his body. So he's a good player. I think he's going to be one of the top swingmen wings in this draft. But I don't want that position. I don't want that position for the Raptors. I don't feel like we need it. All right, good job. I'll give a thumbs up technically to Trey Johnson. But I'm going to say that I don't think we should get him in Toronto because we have too many players at that position already, is what I'll say right there. Kareem Thomas is saying, Ahmad Rashad, he got fired from the morning show. What did he do? I know he's very opinionated, but very colorful. Oh, you're calling smooth Ahmad Rashad. I was like, did Ahmad Rashad get fired too? Where was he working? You got me confused for a second, Kareem. I was like, did he get fired from Inside Stuff now? It's like, oh, he's still on the payroll. NBC, y'all, listen, we've been paying Ahmad Rashad since the 90s for Inside the NBA and Inside Stuff. And he's not done that show in like 25 years, guys. Why are we paying him still? We need to fire him right now. That's funny. That's a funny little stupid thing I did. I've been doing dumb, stupid things sometimes. Like I make little scenes happen, like improvisations and like voices going back and forth. And what was that Magnum PI theme yesterday? Holy crap. I did the whole Magnum PI theme yesterday. I was rewatching my stream. I'm like, damn, Lex, you did the whole Magnum PI theme, even with the solo and everything. Damn. You brought up Dino Riders on the stream yesterday. You are off the chain with your shit sometimes. Well, Ahmad Rashad. Was Sid Seixeiro getting fired? I don't know. What did he say? What did he say? What did he say? Did he say something about Ahmad Rashad? Maybe he did. Smith saying at Kareem, he confirmed that last Friday was his last day on the show. He didn't give details. I don't know. Maybe he's got better opportunities. I don't know. Did he get fired or did he quit? I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? Who cares? In some ways, it is what it is. They change the breakfast television people all the time. They do. They have different people coming in there for different. Wasn't it Kevin Frankish for the longest time? Hi, I'm Kevin Frankish, breakfast television, City TV. Yeah, he used to be him. It's all changed anyway since Moses is gone and they left that building on Queen Street. It's all just not anything like it used to be. Corporations ruin everything. And corporations ruined City TV. They ruined Much Music. They ruined that building on Queen Street. Bell specifically ruined it. It just sucks. It sucks to see that kind of shit happen. It was such a grassroots kind of city vibe at the City TV building at Queen and John for decades. The Voice, Mark Daly, the Speaker's Corner, the icon of Electric Circus, all the shit, the little concerts they have. They open up the doors and close the street. That shit's all gone. And we don't do any of that fun shit anymore because a big corporation bought that building and screwed it all up. It's sad. It's sad to see how big, huge corporations, unfeeling, stupid ass, only for profit corporations fuck this world up for good things. And City TV building is an example of that, guys. And you from Toronto that have been here for a long time know exactly what I'm talking about and how that is all gone. And it's just memories now. And that shit was important for a culture of our city for a long time. But, well, corporations going to ruin everything, Gall. It's just what I'm going to say right now. Corporations going to ruin everything. That's right. That's right. Smooth saying that Kareem, Meredith Shaw, his co-host, was also fired. Maybe they just want to have new people in there. I don't know. Andrew Polander is here. Good morning to Andrew. We do this Raptors talk every morning, 9:30 a.m. every day. Rain or shine, snow or sleet, sunshine and happiness. Every day we do it. Andrew's saying that Raps must lock up a top 5 lottery slot. That's the goal, period. No, it's not. No, it's not, Andrew. No, it's not. Are you Stank Nation? Because we don't do Stank Nation here. Stanking is a bad quality in a fan for the Raptors. We are so good as a front office. We don't have to fucking get the top 5 pick, man. Seriously. You got to watch my channel. You're new, and you'll understand we're anti-tank here. No, we win the way we're supposed to. They're going to decide they want to develop tomorrow and play the young guys over winning. That's their choice, but that's not tanking. That's development. And we do not have to be in the top 5. We don't have guaranteed that we'll be in the top 5. We could have the worst record in the league, and we still won't have the top 5 pick for sure. So we can't do this. Nobody's guiding a plane to the top 5 on purpose. No, we're going to play to win, play how we can. If they're going to play to develop like they did yesterday, okay, they'll do that sometimes, and that may get us in the top 5. But I trust Bobby and Masai and the way they do their job that they could be picking 19th, and they'll get Jacoby Walter. They could be picking 13th, and they'll get Grady Dick. So I don't care where they pick. I'm pretty sure they're going to pick in the top 10, and the top 10 is where I'd like to be. At least, but we don't need to be in the top 5. Let's not get it twisted. We're going to get the best player no matter where we pick because we have one of the best front offices in the league, and I have total trust in them. If we were another team, yeah, we need to get the top 5. We need to get Cooper Flag. But no, we have Masai and Bobby, and it doesn't matter where they pick. They're going to get a badass no matter what. So, Andrew, welcome. But, yeah, we don't do tank talk, and we don't talk about this shit like that. I'm sorry. That's not how we do it. That's not the goal, period. No, it's not. The goal is development. And you know what? In some ways, getting wins in development is very good, important for development also. And once again, we have one of the easiest schedules, with the easiest schedule for the rest of the season because they front loaded our schedule. And well, we're going to naturally win some games before the end of the game. And Andrew, I hope you're not upset when we win some more games this year. I still want to get at least 26 wins this season. We need 10 more wins before the end of the season. and to lose all the rest of them just on purpose. No, we don't do that. We're not Stank Nation here. We don't. You want to talk about tanking and tank culture? You can go to other Raptors channels. They'll do that there. We don't do that here. We're proud of our team, and we're not losers that talk about tanking on purpose. So that's just the damn truth, Andrew. You can disagree with me. You may not like me because I just said that, but I don't care. This is the way it is on the Raptor Freak channel. There you go. Kareem saying, damn, I want Sid and Tim again when the Raptors won the chip. Sid's had the greatest hype rant for Toronto, and I encourage everyone to watch it. Yeah, I hated both of them. Tid McAuliffe, I hate him too. They just are assholes. They had one of the best sports shows on in Toronto for a while. They said they did. Other people thought that. I never thought that. They were always not fair to basketball and the Raptors in particular. They were more fans of other sports, and that's why I never liked Tim and Sid. I never listened to them or listen to them. I'm not upset about this firing. I'm really not. I'm really not. I'm really, really, really not. Andrew saying Raps need a young, high upside stud on the team-friendly contract. We were already paying 4 players now money. We're paying all these guys money. They all get paid. And we have a young stud on the up. It's Jacoby Walter. It's Grady Dick, honestly. We're going to get another piece added. Don't get it twisted, Andrew. I know we will get a new draft pick. I've said it earlier in the stream. But it doesn't have to be Cooper Flagg. It doesn't have to be Ace Bailey. It could be one of the top 10 picks, and we'll be perfectly fine. Bobby and Masai have declared this draft is the best draft in recent years, and that's why they're having a pick in the first round still and not letting it defer to San Antonio. So, yeah, they did that on purpose last year, so we'd be freed up to be able to use our pick this year for sure, and we will, trust me, and trust them. That's all you need to do. We don't need to do their job, Andrew. Let them do their job. We just watch the basketball games and enjoy our team. We're not GMs, okay? That's what I say right there. Carlos saying, meh, fans got to stop worrying about the money. They don't pay it anyway. That's right. I'm not Larry Tannenbaum. I'm not Bell and Rogers. That's their thing. And the money is the money. The money is increasing. And once again, the graph came out a couple days ago where the Raptors are with their salary cap and the whole scheme of the 30 teams in the NBA. And we have flexibility because we're just below the luxury tax. And there's nothing wrong there. In fact, we have been not spending as much in recent years. We will be able to fit Brandon Ingram and everybody on this. Everybody worried about RJ fitting in with Brandon and IQ and Scotty and all the contracts we're doing. It's all there, and they've got it figured out. Our front office does their job well. They're not idiots, and they have all the pieces in place to figure this out. They wouldn't have done the Brandon Ingram trade if they couldn't get him long-term, and they are going to get him long-term this summer. So trust in your front office, Andrew. I see that you've written a lot in here. We'll see how it goes. And hopefully you can get in the Raptor Freak mindset of being more anti-tank and positive about winning for the Raptors, because that's the way we are right here. That's right. That's the way we are. Andrew's saying can't ignore the salary cap or something that is called the second apron. We're nowhere near the second apron, bro. We're nowhere near. You know, New York, that's a problem for them. That's a problem for the Celtics. That's a problem for the Lakers. That's a problem for Denver. That's a problem for Phoenix, but that's not a problem for the Raptors. We've got a lot of flexibility, and that's just really good front office work by Masai and Bobby over the years to be respectful and responsible with the salary cap in mind to be flexible. And I don't know why you're trying to fearmonger in here. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid about the salaries. I'm not afraid about the cap. I'm not afraid about the aprons. I'm really not. It's like it really restricts your teams. Yeah, and this is the thing that they're going to find out in Phoenix and LA and the teams that I just named. All those teams that are near the second apron will deal with this. We won't, because we're not going to be anywhere near it. I'm not worried about this. You need to go actually look at the numbers, Andrew, and not just recapitulate or re-say stuff you've heard other places. Go look at the actual numbers, and you'll find out there's nothing wrong here. And that maybe some of the media people and some of the people on social media, the Raptors fans, are talking out of their ass. And they actually don't know what they're talking about. There's no problems with the financials coming up in the future for the Raptors. We're going to be good. Trust me. Bobby said it in the press conference on Friday. When he did his press conference Friday morning, he made it very clear. I wish Raptors fans would just listen to Bobby and Masai. They're telling y'all exactly what they're doing. And it's all, they have consistently been telling the truth the whole fucking time they've been in charge of our team. So all you need to do is go listen to Bobby, go listen to Masai, stop listening to other fans on social media, on Reddit, on Facebook, on Instagram, on whatever social media place. Stop listening to Grange. Stop listening to Lewenberg. Listen to Horse's Mouth. Go listen to Bobby. Listen to what he said when they asked him about the money situation on Friday morning. That's the only person you need to listen to, the guy who's actually doing the job. That's what I say right there. You don't even need to listen to me. Listen to them. Listen to them. Cream saying money ain't a thing, Andrew. Stop worrying about $1 billion franchise and money. They can also tap into luxury. That's right. That's right. And Andrew saying just lose, baby. Flag, Harper, Ace, VJ would be nice. We can't get all of them. You only get one of them, Andrew. Oh, man. I mean, if I have to teach a new casual that just came into my chat, I will. We'll give you a couple lessons. If you want to hang around, that's up to you. I don't give a shit if you subscribe or hang around. If I piss you off today, that's not what I'm trying to do, Andrew. So I'll just reply to you naturally and what I would normally say. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's fine. If you like it and you want to hang out and talk some more, that's great too. Either way. Most here. Good to see Superfan Monique Lawrence, not a part of Stank Nation. Very, very anti-tank. The Superfan Monique Lawrence, who goes to the games and has been a diehard Raptors fan for the whole time the Raptors been around, just like me. Good morning, Raptor Free crew. On to the next one. Scotty didn't lock in, but I'm not blaming this loss on him. Refs, etc. Stars of the game, IQ, Jamal, Chris. No one's shot well except for IQ and Jamal. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Oshai shot okay, too. He had a good percentage for his shots, too. But those three guys, and that's it. And those were my 3 stars. Yeah, it's tough. They just never got into it. And in some ways, RJ was sorely missed last night. And I would also say Grady, after he left, was very missed. Very, very much. Andrew's saying, this has nothing to do with billionaires. It's about maneuverability, making your team better. Well, Andrew, the one of the characteristics of Bobby Webster as a GM in the NBA is he highly values flexibility. We have one of the most flexible positions in the whole entire NBA right now. And it's not just with the cap and where we are with our cap. It's also the pieces we have on our team. They're very flexible. They're very tradable, a lot of them. And flexibility is the name of the game. Because of the flexibility, we were able to get Brandon Ingram just recently. So, yeah, I'm going to say this right now. Don't tell them how to do their job, because honestly, they live on the moon. We have no idea what it's like to live on the moon, what you need to use to breathe, how the gravity is. Everybody can act like they know what it's like to live on the moon, but you never fucking lived on the moon. You can't fucking tell me you know how to live on the moon. And that's what being a GM in the NBA is. You guys don't know what it's like. You don't know all the inner details. You don't know how to maneuver a trade and how much goes into that. You don't know any of that stuff. Y'all are just casuals that watch basketball, and you have no idea the real business of the NBA. So I'm going to say this. Leave that job to them. In some ways, I know my place. I'm a fan that does a YouTube channel. I'm not trying to tell them how to run this team because, honestly, they've done a very good job on their own, and they don't need my advice. That's what I would say about that. I may give, ideas. I may say things, well, I wish they would do this, but I'm not ever getting so mad that I'm mad at my front office because they didn't do what I said, like some Raptors fans. They're ridiculous. They're ridiculous. That's right. Maneuverability, flexibility, that's the name of the game for the Raptors front office. Are you paying attention is what I'm going to ask you. Let's see. Andrew saying that second apron is a killer when it comes to team building restrictions. We're not going to go anywhere near it. We don't have to. I don't think you've realistically looked at stuff. Andrew, I will tell you this. Go watch Logical Raptors Fanatic. It's another YouTube channel on the Raptors, and he knows the salary cap stuff inside out. He could explain it to you all very easily. In fact, he has a couple of 5-minute clips that came out in the last week that will explain exactly how Brandon Ingram's going to fit into our cap structure with the guys that are already here, and it's all going to be fine. And it'll assuage your fears, my guy. It'll assuage your fears. Don't worry about the second apron. Oh, my gosh, the second apron. Ooh, the second apron's so scary. Ooh, I'm scared. No, I'm not, because Bobby and Masai understand how to run a team correctly. Kareem saying the Raptors can move anyone at any time. We have great assets, and money is your concern. We made great moves, and also we're very flexible for the future. Exactly what I just said. Kareem gets it. I guess he's been here watching me for a couple years, so he understands this, that our front office values flexibility, and they very much utilize it to jump on things like Kawhi Leonard and Brandon Ingram because they're wide open and available to trade with teams that may be in a bad position with a disgruntled star or a star that they don't want to invest in anymore. We become opportunists, and we get very, very good talent through trade instead of free agency, which people say, oh, Raptors can't get any free agents. Well, we're going to get motherfuckers the other way. We'll trade for them. When a guy like Brandon Ingram isn't working out in New Orleans, a high-level talent like him, an all-star, a most improved player, well, we capitalize and we take advantage of that by being flexible in the moment to be able to jump on it. So that's what I say right there. Does that make sense, what I just said? So we're saying Embiid admitting he might not need another injury to heal properly, yet they're still playing him. I know. That's what I'm saying. Shut him down now. If it's getting worse already, he just came back. Shut him down now and just get done with what you need to do. You don't do it. You don't listen to Raptors Street. Go ahead, Sixers. You're going to get what you get. Yeah. just like Jack Armstrong said. I'll keep saying that. I love that line, actually. You get what you get. I know Sixers fans hate that line. They really do. Andrew's saying we are now forced to extend Ingram on a huge deal. Plus, RJ and Quick would be hard to trade because they're overpaid. They're not overpaid, man. All right, I can already tell you have some really crazy opinions about the Raptors. Manuel is going to grow into his contract, and he's actually going to be on a really good deal down the road. The money's changing in the NBA. First of all, this is not real world money. We live in a weird ass, fucked up economy where it's just really hard for us to deal with things. You can't look at these numbers and apply your life to them. Seriously, this is a whole other level of things. And once again, the money is there in the TV deals. The Amazon deal is huge. And it's not overpaid. It's just the ballooning prices of NBA players in the league and how it's naturally growing anyway. So, yeah, I can't get behind this. RJ and Emmanuel are locked down. And so is Scotty. And I love it. And Brandon will be locked down this summer. RJ will be the first one that will have to get done after that. But that's not even for like a year or two still. So don't worry about this stuff. Our front office is extremely capable. If we had the Wizards front office, I'd be very worried. But we don't. We have the Raptors front office. So that's what I'll say right there. That's right. That's right. That's right. Let's keep going. Smooth saying we're not forced to do anything, by the way. When you use the word forced, we're not. This is part of the flexibility. Once again, I'm talking about Brandon Ingram is here right now to try out for the Raptors on the down low. If Brandon Ingram does not fit with our culture, if he doesn't get along with our other players, if he doesn't kind of fit on the down low, he'll play for us before the end of the year, and we're going to get a tryout for him. In some ways, if it doesn't work, well, we can also let him walk and do something totally different with our cap space this summer. There's the flexibility right there. So it's not totally set in stone that Brandon will be with us next year, but it's very much looking like it will be because both sides are signaling that that's the intention. But let's not get it twisted. Bobby also said, this is part of the thing with him coming here is we get to try him out and see if he's a fit. And if he isn't a fit, well, we can make a different decision this summer still. Flexibility, Andrew. Flexibility. That's what I'm talking about. Smooth saying he means Mark Carney. Who's Mark Carney? Who's Carney? Carney Lansford? Carney? Wasn't there a kicker named Carney in the NFL for a while? Carney? Is that who y'all are talking about? A kicker or something? I have no idea. I live in the woods out in the middle of nowhere, and I don't know. That's right. That's right. All right, let's keep going in the chat. Andrew, I'm glad you're here. I'm not going to agree with everything that everybody says, just so you know. Mischief saying Brandon says he'll take 2.1 million less than what he's making right now, which is enough to sign Boucher on Warwick report. Yeah, that sounds about right. This is the thing. This will be the test right now. All right, let's see what the number is for Brandon this summer if we do re-sign him. If the number's right at 40, that's perfect. That's perfect. If he makes 40 a year, that's a deal, and it's a steal. And Bobby even said, I forgot to mention this from the press conference on Friday, that part of the deal that we worked out with New Orleans for Brandon Ingram was factoring in his injury proneness. That Bobby was strong-arming the Pelicans front office and saying, look, you're giving us a player that has been hurt a lot of his career already, and we want a lower price because of this. And the Pelicans complied. That's part of the reason why it was only Kelly, Bruce, a first and a second-round pick for Brandon Ingram, is because Bobby made sure the Pelicans added into the deal the value of the injury possibilities with Brandon. And that's what I'm saying. So it's like, he mentioned that in the press conference. I think that went over a lot of people's heads that, that was part of the deal was he said, all right, in some ways he got a lower deal. He got a better deal for Brandon because of that. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see, man. But yeah, Brandon taking less money, like waiving his trade millions to come in here in the first place. That's a sign of a team player and one that is really committed to come in here to help us try and win because he's willing to take less money so we can have more for a roster. And that's fantastic. That's a really good sign. I think everything's going according to plan with Brandon, and he will be a Raptor for long term. I'm just saying that the possibility of what I said earlier is still there, just in case. It's flexibility. Flexibility. That's right. That's right. Let's keep going. Carlos saying, it's so funny that you worry about the salary implications like it's your job. Bobby Webster's a salary cap whiz. I think he knows a thing or two about managing salaries. Yeah. He's got it under control. I don't worry about this, man. We have one of the best front offices in the league, if not the best. I mean, Sam Presti in Oklahoma City and us. Those are really the top two. Those are really the top two. I don't know who would be the third that would rival with us, but Sam Presti and Masai Ujiri, they run the best two front offices in the league right now. And that's not me just conflating the Raptors because I'm a fan. No, that's just the damn truth from the track record of what our front office has done the time they've been here. You can't be perfect. We're not going to win the fucking championship every year, you casual Raptors fans who are crazy. The Raptors do the best in the circumstances that they've been in Tampa, in the bubble, and all kinds of crazy ass shit happening to us. The dismantling of our championship team by the NBA on the down low. They make the best of what's happening, and we go forward, and we're in a better position. If we had shitty GMs, they'd be failing along with all the misery of the things happening to us, and we wouldn't be in the position we're in right now. Seriously. So we got to respect our front office and understand they're very good at their job, is what I'm saying. Stargate saying, no, sorry, no, having any Louisiana Artois perform at the Super Bowl is a disrespect and a slap in the face to the people of that state. Not one. Not having any, are you saying not having any Louisianans there involved in it? Yeah, no Wheezy, no Juvenile, or any Cash Money. Well, they wanted Kendrick. They wanted Kendrick and his crew. That's what it was. I mean, I don't know exactly what you're talking about here, Stargate. But I mean, if you wanted local talent for the city of New Orleans, I mean, I guess I can understand that. Carlos saying, yeah, I love that. And I think Darko's system of using 10 players per game is perfect for managing BI's time management. That's the thing that was the secret with Kawhi. Kawhi was really, really, monitored so much and really, really so closely. And it was so perfect. And that's why Kawhi had his best season in Toronto his whole entire year. All of his years in the NBA. And I think that a similar effect can be found with Ingram because the same people are still here, the front office and Alex McKechnie, and they're going to do things the right way with him. And I'm actually really excited about Rajakovic's creativity with the potential artistry of the skills of Brandon Ingram. That there's a lot of potential for some fun with that, is what I'm saying right there. Yeah, the 10-man roster rotation is a signature of Darko's these days. And I like it. It's a classic. It's like the old 80s and 90s. You got five starters and you got 5 bench guys, and they're all usually swapping in. You got the starting point guard, the backup point guard, the starting center, the backup center. And there's a lot of that going on with Darko and his rotation right now. And I like it. It's organized. And in some ways, the players know what to expect. And well, the 10 players that know that they're going to be playing the next day, they get a list. And then the other guys just kind of like, well, I'm going to work harder in practice and put more energy in there. And I'm going to do the things to show coach I want to be in that 10-man rotation next game. That's right. Trevor's saying, Lex, I don't bring Dennis to you, so do not call my name. I saw that in the chat too. You guys call my name on stuff that happens. Go back and check and see who shared it before you call my name. Did you not share that Dennis Schroeder post? I'm pretty sure you did, man. Anyway, you're right. I shouldn't be calling you out. You're right. I should be not calling people out like that. It's just, it is something that I very much care about a lot, is being factual on the stream. And all I'm asking is, and I shouldn't just single you out. I should tell everybody who's sharing information with me on places to just really check yourself. And that's everybody who's in that chat, every single one of everybody. So I'm not going to go back and look at it. If I'm mistaken and I'm wrong, I apologize, Trevor. If you're not the one who posted the Dennis Schroeder got waived meme that was posted in there, I'm not going to go back and look at it. I'm just going to believe you. I'm just going to believe you because I trust you like that. I believe you that you didn't do that. I apologize if I said you did that. I don't care who did it, but I'm just going to use it as an example. And I'm sorry I called you out for it personally if you did not do it. And I'm going to believe you that you didn't, because you're a trustworthy guy as a person and you mean well. And I know that if you shared something, if you did, I don't know if you did, I'm pretty sure you didn't because you're saying you didn't. You understand where my point is on this. So I you know what? You're right. I shouldn't have been throwing your name out there every time. I should just in general tell everybody, please, if you're going to share information with us, let's make sure that it's actually factual, is what I'm saying. Trevor, my apologies. Seriously. You're right. I shouldn't be calling you out. Smooth saying Anthony Davis out for a minimum of a month. Dallas front office looking incompetent. What can they do about that? That's just Davis, man. That's just Davis. And in reality, the NBA is soft this year. It's just soft. I mean, even Grady, like the injury that Grady got last night, he wasn't shook up enough to stop playing for the whole game. Let's not get it twisted. That's an excuse for him to leave the rest of the game and short staff ourselves even better. In some ways, maybe that's kind of like, you know what? Wow, the Rockets are really bad. We may need to leave Grady out of the game too for the rest of the game, because we may win if Grady stays in the game. There have been some calculations on the down low with not with Darko specifically, but with the front office, saying, don't let Grady go back in because honestly, the Rockets are playing so bad. We may win if he comes back. Who knows? Who knows? It's something like that. It's something like that could happen, man. Something like that could happen. Fiercey saying that Trevor, I missed that part, Lex. I'm the one who posted the Facebook chat calling out. Okay, so it was Fiercey that posted the misinformation that I'm giving Trevor crap for. I totally apologize, Trevor. I sometimes don't see you post so much. I think I just either think it's Monique or you. Like in the chat, I'm either thinking, okay, Trevor posted that right. It was Fiercey that posted that. Yeah, Fiercey, you got to really double check because that was not true. That thing you posted, that you thinking that Dennis got waived is not true. And I reported it on my channel and said that and it was caused a lot of confusion. And this is the fallout of it. And it's confused me to the point where I blame Trevor for this. Trevor, sincerely from the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. I'm going to give Trevor a dunk. And thank you, Fiercey, for being honest that you were the one who actually posted it. All I ask is just please be more responsible with this in some ways. And I know that in some ways it looked real and it looked like it's very plausible. That's why I got duped by it too. And I thought it was real, but it wasn't. And that's the thing. It's really the sources. We can't just go to meme places and think that memes are real anymore. It's got to come from ESPN. It's got to come from Michael Grange. It's got to come from Josh Lewenberg. It's got to come from Blake Murphy. It's got to come from Samson Folk. It's got to come from Kurthika. It cannot come from other people. It's got to come from Shams. It can't even come from like people like what's his name, Jake Fisher. No, those guys are bullshit artists. It's got to come from reliable news sources. And meme sites are not that anymore. This is going to get even worse in the coming years in on the internet. So Fiercey, I apologize, Trevor, and Fiercey, please don't give me stuff like that. I should have checked it myself. But in the day afterwards, we found out that it wasn't true, and you still thought it was true up until now. So yeah, I hate that. I hate that. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Oh, wait. I missed that part, Lex. I'm the one who posted in the Facebook chat calling out. Oh, yeah, that's a different thing. And we're not talking about that. We're talking about a post that said Dennis Schroeder waived by Detroit Pistons. Somebody posted that in our chat, and that was not true. I saw the thing about Dennis, and he's totally right. I mean, the Raptors did personalized farewells to Kelly, Bruce, and Davion in separate posts. The Warriors were half-assed, and they didn't even order it really well. They put Kyle Anderson first, Dennis Schroeder, and then Lindy Waters, all in one little like comment. It wasn't even a post. It was like, thank you for your job, Golden State. And Dennis is right to call them out. I have no problem with him doing that. So I'm not sure if you posted the Dennis Schroeder wave thing. That's what we're talking about. Nako's saying that I like Rasheer. Wouldn't draft him in the lottery. Draft Derek Queen, Common Malak are players I think we're getting the opportunity to draft outside the top three. Those are the guys I like the most. I like those guys too. In some ways, Nako and I have been lining up on a lot of the draft stuff so far. But he's bringing me all the staff stuff. Draft stuff is crazy. 11:01. Thank you for the cutoff. We're just 3 minutes shy of 2 hours. Mo's got my W stream, W vibes. Go Raptors for life. Keep at it always, Lex. Raptor free crew strong forever despite the outcome. Just limit the comments. Thank you, Mo. I appreciate that. I'm going to give you a dunk for being here and helping me as a producer. I really do appreciate that. And yeah, I apologize again, Trevor. And I don't know if Fiercey did actually post that after all, because it's confusing. I have no idea who posted it. In some ways, I'm going to let it go. We know it's not true, and it doesn't matter who posted it. How about that? Andrew Stargate saying Andrew is one of them Zazu Spaces nutcases. Oh, that Andrew guy's from Zazu Spaces. Okay, so kindergarten class decided to come to PhD graduate school, Raptors land. He graduated from the little kid's crib. I playing out in the yard with the Tonka trunks on the mud to come into the classroom and sit down with the professors and open a book and actually learn about Raptors culture and stuff from knowledgeable, mature people instead of Zazu's little kindergarten class. Okay, that makes sense then. So you recognize them from there? Okay. Well, you got the action you got. Let's see. Nako's saying, my Raptors freak. Mr. Raptors freak, do you have a favorite player that we scouted so far? That's a great question, Nako. I think it's Malak. I think the very first guy I looked at and the positioning that we're in the draft and the idea of putting another Duke guy on our team with RJ and Brandon is really nice. I kind of like that. And he's the right position. He would very much help our roster with the size problem. I think he's the guy. Common. Common is the one I like. He's the number one guy on my draft board right now for the Raptors to try and get in the top 10 with their draft pick. I don't think we're going to be in the top 5, guys. As much as Andrew says that's so necessary, I don't think we will. I think we'll be somewhere between 6 and 10, and it may be very likely we could get Common Malak. That is who I like. That's number one on my list, Nako. Mischief saying, Nako, first round, Cooper Flag, Ace Bailey, VJ Edgecombe. Second round, 6'11", 19-year-old Bugajobo Markovic. We did look at him. Are my guys 6'9" snipers and up. Those are the guys he likes. Of course, the top of the list, the top two guys. And VJ, who's been getting put in on our mock draft for us. This is where ESPN wants us to get Edgecombe. So I don't know. Not going to say Mischief. First round, Flag, Harper, Bailey, Common at 4, which we could get the 4th pick, but he may not be right at 4. I've seen him mocked at 9. I've seen him mocked as late as 9, Common Malak, just so you know. Fears at 5, Queen at 6, Boyles. Yeah, you guys are just naming who you guys think are going to be in the top picks. You like Tugler? Cream saying, our front office has been dancing circles around other GMs. If people would take the time and understand the moves were made and the draft capital we got and players we are developing, we cha-cha-cha slide in. I agree with this. In some ways, people don't give us the proper respect and attention. In some ways, Raptors fans aren't going to go and look at the stuff that Mike looks at because it's not fun. It's boring. But when you go look at what Mike looks at, you understand the genius of our front office. Seriously, go spend some time with Logical Raptors Fanatic on his YouTube channel, Raptors Fans. Seriously, he will educate y'all on this subject so well. Him and Blake Murphy with his salary cap primer he comes out with. He just did it recently after the trade deadline. So go look and see what Blake has to say. It's very informative also. That's what I'm saying right there. Name is saying we laugh, but I think that's exactly what happened to Grady. If he returns, they probably win. Yeah, I totally see this. We were pulling punches once again. I have noticed them pulling punches in 2 of the games recently where they're like, oh, they're not totally trying to win right now. They're really not. You can tell. And IQ not playing at the end of the game, that's not a winning decision. Hello. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Free Crew. Just joined. We'll watch Double Speed later. Yeah, I recommend this to everybody who doesn't watch me live in person right now. If you come back and watch me later in the day, watch me at least 1.5 speed, 1.75 speed, or double speed. It'll make my 2 or 3 hour streams go faster, and you can still understand me, and you're saving time. In fact, you can get a little feeling of accomplishment that you did more with your day because you cheated the laws of space and time by putting me on at 1.5 speed. You get extra time on your day. I feel like that when I do that, when I watch content, when I speed it up, I'm like, man, I just got an extra 5 minutes to do whatever I want. That's right. There you go. Nameless saying, there's no fooling me, man. I see right through things. There you go, Nameless. You seeing it. You see the ethical stanking that goes on. See, in some ways, if they're going to do it from the top, I can't argue with it because that's strategized from them. But the fans that call out for it just blindly saying, we can't win. It's like, no, that's different. That's a whole different thing. Y'all are fans. You should be cheering for your team to win no matter what. I don't care. You should never be like, I want us to lose over and over again. No, that's not a good Raptors fan. Seriously, it's not. It's not. Nako saying Tugler is a phenomenal defender. Really? Okay. Did we look at him? I don't remember. Trevor, I'll do the classic card very soon. I appreciate you helping me with that. I'll do it really in just a second. Nako saying, mind you, this is what I do. I don't think this is the order it'll happen in. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That seems like a lot. You guys are naming like 6 guys on there, and I think we only had 3 picks. So I don't know about that, guys. All right, here's the classic card. It's a very nice big picture, but it's a hard one. So first person to write in the full name answer of this classic card will get Raptor Freak trivia points added to their total. And that trivia has been, the rankings have been shifting around. People are moving up and down in different places. Recently, Slug Deezy and Smooth, obviously at the very high up at the top. Andrew jumped ahead of somebody yesterday for getting one. So yeah, there's a lot of rankings in play. If you get these cards, you can jump up in the rankings real fast. But Smooth is running away with it this year. He has a huge lead, and rightfully so, because the classic card has been king in the Raptor Freak trivia this year. Now, next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow, we will do a regular Raptor Freak trivia classic where we do the questions on the show. We haven't done one of these in a while. It's going to be fun to do one again. I'm going to write up all the questions and administrate it, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be so much fun. 100% punches pulled. 100% noticed it too. Yeah, there's no denying it. I saw it in the fourth quarter. If they really were trying to win that game, they had the chance. They could have done it, but they didn't. They didn't try. All right, here is the card of the day. If you guys know who this card is, I mean, it's right in your face. This guy's right there in your face. But I don't know if you know who that is. That's the thing. So if anybody can get this classic card of the day, who is that, man? Name was saying next season, the squad is going to be labeled a terrorist organization. I don't like that. Seriously, man. Wording. Jeff Malone. That's a good guess. Jeff Malone did play on the Jazz. It does kind of look like Jeff Malone, but this guy's younger than Jeff Malone and came after Jeff Malone. Meta World Peace? You think this is Ron Artest? No, that's not right. Smooth got it, though. The old head got it. The guy at the top knows that's Eric Murdoch. That's right. Howlin' Mad Murdoch from the A-Team. That's right. Eric Murdoch. Wow, Smooth. That is Ahmad Rashad. You're right, Kareem. That is obviously Ahmad Rashad because he interviewed Eric Murdoch at some point, I'm sure. That's how Smooth Brown Man knows because he's obviously Ahmad Rashad. How did he know Eric Murdoch? Come on now. That is a tough card. So I'm going to give Smooth 200 for it. Eric Murdoch is the classic card of the day, and Smooth Brown Man has got it once again. Wow. That's big time, maybe. Big time. Eric Murdoch, first guess. Good job. The picture was nice and clear and easy to see. There you go. G Saint just joined saying hi. Raptors posted a Grady post and hinted that CRISPR's new sponsor will be doing things and said 3 versus 3, and he may be there. So there's going to be a 3 versus 3 CRISPR's tournament, and Grady Dick may be there to like hang out and see people. Cool. That's pretty cool. All right, let me go through. There's stuff I haven't done at all yet. You guys, let's do a Reddit reaction. Why not? Lex reacts to Raptors Reddit. Let's see. I'm going to go there right now. Let's see. There's the Barnes jersey swap with Jalen Green, the smiles. Those guys really, truly are good friends. Very, very cool. Let's see. He survived yet again. They're talking about Chris Boucher. Okay, this guy right here is talking about Malak, saying Duke's 7'2" monster, draft wet dream. Phrasing, come on now. Yeah, I'm okay with this post. That's fine. Jameson's battles contract has been converted. Okay, that's good. Everything's looking so good so far. There's the reunion no one's talking about. Jonas and DeMar and Sacramento. How far can this 1-2 punch take us? Brandon Ingram and Scotty Barnes. Everything's looking good. Raptors Reddit is looking okay right now. Okay, here's a question. Is it true that the best free agent ever signed by the Raptors is DeMarre Carroll? No, it is not. The best free agent ever signed by the Raptors was Jose Calderon. And that's the answer is correctly. So it's not DeMarre Carroll. It's Jose Calderon. So there you go. There's an answer there. Bobby confirms that Brandon Ingram wanted to come to Toronto. Yes, we knew about that. It seems like Raptor Reddit is on their best behavior, and there's not a whole lot of stupid stuff on here right now. This is I'm not seeing them go on any kind of really crazy shit right now. There's nothing dumb that they're saying right here. So, I don't know. I can't really go off on Raptors Reddit because they actually seem like they're on point right now. And they're being good fans. And they're actually covering things correctly right now. So, all right, Raptors Reddit. Maybe you're better than Zazu Spaces right now. All right, let's see. I got to do the Instagram stories real quick. Kyle Lowry recently passed Tim Hardaway on the total assist list for the NBA for all time. So Kyle Lowry's in the top 20 of all-time assist leaders in the history of the NBA all time. He's just behind Terry Porter of the Trailblazers and Lenny Wilkins, former Raptors coach, and he'll catch up with them. I want to see Kyle get higher on the list. He's number 19 all-time for assists. It just passed Tim Hardaway in the list. Really cool achievement. And that just shows the longevity of our growth and how long he's been around. He's like that. And he's very happy about the Eagles winning. He's dapping people. And the Eagles going to win today. They were playing Milwaukee and they lost. The Sixers. Zach Edey has got him and his teammates on blast on his Instagram. Let's see. It was there's an open gym clip of Jamal Shed coming back to Houston and checking out the gym. That's pretty cool. Let's see who else we got. Matt Devlin's got a really nice post, a dedication to Hubie Brown. Of course, Hubie called his last game yesterday at 91 years old. Matt Devlin got to work with Hubie at Memphis. And, of course, Jack Armstrong looks at Hubie Brown as a mentor. And, man, the love that they were showing for Hubie Brown. I love that Jack Armstrong said that Hubie is the greatest announcer of all time, in his opinion. I completely agree with you. Chris Paul coming out and saying that Hubie Brown calls the game like the way I think when I'm playing on the court as a player. Yeah, I'm a disciple of Hubie also myself. Growing up in the 80s and the 90s, listen to Hubie Brown at his height when he was calling all those games on CBS with Vern Lundquist, and all the years since, Hubie Brown has been a treasure to basketball all along. And I love Hubie Brown so much. We did a Share the Love Club for him last year. And I wish him all the best. And, what a great and fantastic career. And I love that our announcers in particular really devoted some time to honor him yesterday on our broadcast. So Matt Devlin, Jack Armstrong, you guys are top-notch professionals. And you guys are disciples of Hubie just like me. Yeah, and it's the right way to be if you're a basketball fan. I'm sorry. Yeah, Paul Jones saying thank you to Hubie also with a picture of him and his brother Mark and Hubie Brown. I mean Hubie, yeah, Hubie. Man, we love Hubie, man. We're always gonna love Hubie. Hubie is Hubie, y'all. Hubie. Let's see. Ulrich has got a play from some game. I don't know what game that is. It's a big guy, and he really just dunked it. Holy crap! Who is that guy? Man, they better scout that guy. SGA coming to the game. Wigs World is what he's saying, and then the Tempo got all kinds of content with their swag coming out like crazy. And there's Garrett Temple with his son, Garrett Temple Jr., standing next to the game, wearing a shirt. Or no, maybe that is his son. I'm pretty sure that's his son, Garrett's son. Slim Duck's got all kinds of stuff. He's got Caribbean people playing dominoes on his Instagram. He said when the meeting has already ran over 30 minutes and people keep asking questions, he's got a disgruntled dude on there. He's got Oprah Winfrey on here saying, when somebody asks me what I like about my job, he's like, getting paid. That's why I like my job. I like getting paid. So yeah, and he's with her on that. Let's see, what else has he got? He's got Patrick Mahomes getting clowned, saying he was going to say he was getting a three-peat for sure after the game last year. And he's saying, wow. And he's like making fun of him. So it's like, yeah, Slim Duck's happy that the Eagles won. I could tell. Let's see. Anything else in here that's worth mentioning? Jamal Shed open gym moment. Pretty cool with Houston. Lots of people posting Jamal in action in Houston from the crowd. The Houston fans came to see love for Shed, and they posted a bunch of clips of him making shots from the crowd, and he reposted them on his Instagram also. Let's see. Siakam, he's just doing what he normally does. Pictures of his teammates in practice and wearing stuff. He was hanging out with that super fan from LA, the guy who wears the cowboy hat. He's shaking hands with him. I guess he's got his respect. That's that guy. You guys know who I'm talking about? I forget. He's like a music executive or something. It's not Lou Adler. It's somebody else. It's the super fan I'm talking about with a cowboy hat. He's in LA all the time. That's the Instagram stories real quick. Get those out of the way. Real quick there. That's right. Let's see. Monique's saying, yes, Crispers are a new sponsor. I mean, it seems like everybody's a sponsor for the Raptors this year. They got so much 30th anniversary stuff that's out there. They just doing every which way. I'm not a hater on that. More exposure for the Raptors brand in different ways is great. And, they're going to capitalize on different items and putting Raptors stuff on there. They pay us for it. They get their increase in sales from it. Whatever. It is what it is. It's business, baby. That's right. Crispers, welcome to the team. All right, let me run it down. Once again, the Raptors lost yesterday, the Rockets, in a game they shouldn't have lost, but they probably purposely lost. 3 stars of the game, Emmanuel Quickley, Jamal Shed, and Ochai Agbaji is how I look at it there. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me today. I'll be back tomorrow to preview the Sixers game. I'll have the latest information on their injury report, and we'll see where Joel is at that point and see where our team is with certain things. Maybe Grady will be on the list tomorrow. We'll have to see. But either way, I'll have the latest lineup news for the game against the Sixers, the ref report, and all the normal stuff we do on this channel every single day. I appreciate everybody for watching. Once again, I apologize, Trevor, for calling you out. I want to make sure that I make that right. I was pretty sure you did it, but if you didn't do it, I believe you. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Let's go Raptors. Let's have a good week, guys. Start Monday off right. And just try and stay positive and make the best in this world that we can. In some ways, the world is better when you make it better yourself. So go out there and do your part of making sunshine, light, positivity, inclusiveness, and more equality in this world in your sphere of influence. And you could be a part of adding to a greater thing, bigger than the darkness that is trying to do evil things on this continent right now. So we have a power in ourselves, and united, we have an even greater power. And when we realize that, we will take back the power, and we need to, trust me. At one point, we're going to have to, regardless. So we're going to need to do it sooner than later. Trust me. The further we get into this dark shit, it may be harder and more violent and tougher to do. So if we can head it off earlier, with sensibility, diplomacy, and the right kind of fight, maybe we can stop some really ugly shit happening. So, yeah. All right, y'all, keep your heads up, stay positive, and let's go Raptors. We're not about stanking. We're about winning, and we're going to try and beat Nick Nurse and his team tomorrow at Wells Fargo the best that we can. Congratulations, Eagles, on your Super Bowl championship. Let's go Raptors. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Woo! Woo!